What is going on, guys? Sorry I'm late. I thought I scheduled this for 2:30, not 2 o'clock. But thank you guys who've been hanging out. I'm sure you guys have had plenty of fun in the chat while I'm missing. I was working on my hygiene products actually. I was making the deodorant today. I have to make my moisturizing cream and the tooth powder, and then my hygiene products will be back in stock. I got a couple on back order, not too many. But I will be announcing my hair pomade. The product that is in my hair right now will be available as an additional part of one of the packages. I haven't figured out which formula I want to use yet for that, so it might be another week or two. But the reason I'm saying this is because I got my lip balm in front of me that I'm about to put on. It's just made from beef tallow, beeswax, very simple, spearmint scented. Before you guys give me shit for putting lipstick on. But what's going on? How are you guys today? What is going on? What have you guys been talking about? What do we want to touch on? So I didn't end up MasterChef. Not going to happen. So did have a couple of interviews this week for bartending gigs. Not really sure how that's going to pan out. The YouTube business is going pretty good. Have a makeup. Yeah, I was doing my makeup for half an hour. Sorry, boys. Are we starting because my caviar is getting warm? Looks like a cow licked my hair back. Frankie BOY in the house. Chat stopped. Diatomaceous earth. What's up? What's going on, guys? What's going on? How's my sleep? It's better. It's funny. I think I know why I was getting insomnia, but I don't want to tell you guys yet. You guys are gonna be like, oh well, a little bit of a hypocrite, but I just want to make sure that's what it's what it is first. Hey Devin, what's going on, man? I'm sorry about Friday. I thought you were gonna call me on my phone, not Skype. So I wasn't at home at the time to check my computer. I just had my phone on me. I don't. The problem with body wash is it's like too high volume of a product. I could probably. The problem with soap is it's big too, and the way to make soap is you use a bunch of chemicals, and a lot like it's a lot higher. I could make soap. I think you know what, the next thing I'll do might be soap. I do have to figure out
Frank,
what
you didn't
the
respond to my email. I reached out to you through your contact form.
grape leaf. If I didn't respond to your email, it probably ended up in the spam folder. Uh, I check that every few days. So either I sent you an email and it got caught in your spam folder, or you just maybe because I responded to all my contact form stuff. So just shoot me an email,
Can
frank8tofano@gmail.com
you
if you didn't get through.
elaborate on a good bottled water to buy for convenience?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for the support, guys. So the soap might happen soon. It's just soap uses ingredients that well, first of all, I don't know a lot about making soap, and making well. Not only does it use ingredients like lye that I'm not familiar with, setting a bar of soap is much different than what I'm doing now. Like right now, I mix up a liquid batch of whatever product I'm making, and I pour it into containers. Soap has to set in a mold, so I don't know if I would need like 100 soap molds, which seems crazy. Right, I have to do it in batches. How much does soap molds cost? No, I mean I'd have to invest. I'd have to invest like $100 in molds, which isn't too much of an investment actually. Uh, I guess I could do the soap. I just have to mess around with some recipes, and then the soap could be. The problem is, guys. The problem with soap is if I make soap bars, I can't sell soap for $10 a bar. Like soap is not something that, like right now for the market I'm going for, the lip balm, the deodorant, the moisturizing cream, the tooth powder, and the pomade that I'm going to sell, those are all products that can go for $10 to $15 each. Besides the lip balm's like $3 or $4. But the deodorant, the tooth powder, the moisturizing cream, the market price for those things is $10 to $15 each. The market price for soap, it's not. I mean, I don't know what people are willing to pay for a bar of artisanal soap, but it's certainly not $7, and it wouldn't be worth me making the product if it was just adding $5 or $7 onto the order. It's in the long run, it's probably worth it. Uh, I'm looking at if any of you guys have some good soap recipes or have some good ideas, let me know. I don't know. I don't know a lot about soap in general. I mean, I would probably maybe I'll do that later on my in my free time. I'll just look up some soap. A lot of vegan drama going on this week, right, guys? So soap is a possibility for sure. If you guys did want to have a question read on stream or for me to get to your question sooner, you can just donate through the Streamlabs link in the chat. Um, um, Brian Dickens donated $4.99 to Super Chat. Can you elaborate on a good bottled water to buy? So this is very this is very specific to where you're located, like what bottled water your shop has to offer. Ideally, we want something in glass because I mean, I don't really think plastic bottled water is a negative. I mean, of course, unless the pallet's sitting out in the sun and the plastic is leaching through. But just having something in a plastic is not necessarily inherently bad for it. In regards to brands, I've noticed that high mineral water, like Gerolsteiner, um, what else? But just like any really high, hard mineral water can actually contribute to SIBO. So I don't think I think the high mineral water consumption really depends on the person. So you're better off consuming reverse osmosis or distilled or just lower parts per million water in general. Ideally, nothing from Nestle. I don't really trust them. Uh, it's brands off the top of my head. I usually get the Whole Foods Italian water, the flat water. Sometimes I get Galvanina flat water from Italy too. But it's really the lesser of evils. You know, you got to test your water and see what is in your water, what the parts per million is, and then what your trade off is. Like the main two goals are to remove fluoride and chlorine, and have an ideal parts per million. Anything past that is just great. You know, it's hard to remove all the negative chemical, pesticides, herbicides, all that stuff is very difficult to remove. It's difficult to remove all the fluoride completely, all the chlorine completely. It's just you have to look at what brands you have available, and then just turn between the brands, which is the best choice. Meme Goblin, how is the crappy statue? I did not. Maybe I missed your email. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Profit margins for soap are very slim at best. Well, here's what I'm thinking for the soap. If I make, if I spend, if it costs me $150, $200 to make 100 bars of soap, which it will, including the molds initially. Of course, if I have the molds, then the profit is better, but I have to buy the molds. So if I'm spending $150 to make bars of soap, and the soap bars are going to sell for $4 each, my profit on the soap bar is like $250, but that's for making 100 bars of soap. That's not bad, but including that's if people are willing to pay. That's what $4, $5 for a bar of soap. I don't think people are willing to pay that much, are they? So that's a small bar of soap. Like, are people going to pay $4 for a small bar of soap? I mean, look on Etsy what soap is selling for. Natural soap, goat milk soap, all natural, handcrafted. $6.95 for what's the size? Each bar is 4 to 5 ounces. I actually don't, and that's $7 for a bar of soap. Hmm. Four. So yeah, I mean it's $4 or $5 each. I can definitely include it in the package. I think that's a good idea. So I just have to figure out what the formula is going to be really. So maybe that'll be. I don't know if I should include that in this batch of products. That might delay me a bit. Actually, I don't know if the main issue actually is right now the product package is like it's like 9 or 10 ounces. So the soap might take it over. The soap can't be more than like 5 or 6 ounces, so that's fine. The package needs to be below a pound for first class mail shipping. So I'll look into the soap later and I'll see if it's something easy to do. And if it is, then I'll get some molds and I'll make the soap and I'll include them in the next batch of products. But that's going to increase the price of the product, the package, because the package is going to go from $30 to $35 with soap, and then it's going to be $45 with pomade. So, I guess it's Go Perimeter lard and buttermilk soap. I don't really want to do anything people are allergic to. Mix lye with oils and fats. I don't want to do dairy or something that's allergic to. How do I get coconut oil out of my hair? You gotta take like a couple showers and it comes out. Is raw honey good for insulin? Absolutely not. Love the makeup today. Thanks, guys. That's why I was late. There's a bad echo. Is there still an echo? Is it still echoing? It's still echoing now. Fuck. Hold on, let me. Um, I don't know why it's echoing. Let me see. Oh, okay. All right. I was like paleo bodybuilder for a year before I went carnivore. As I said, thanks for coming, Frankie. Only about 150 people waited a half hour for you. Were there really that many people waiting for me? I thought because I thought I scheduled it for 2:30. So where the hell is the? Oh, okay. EMF protective clothing. This is getting a little crazy. That's like how much can you really do? I just started a few minutes ago, like 10, 15 minutes ago. I haven't really talked about anything yet. In fact, I follow mostly carnivore diet, but there are a few plants I still consume: palm hearts, avocado, and tomatoes. I think each of those foods have specific preparation methods to avoid anti-nutrients. I think the tomatoes, you want to peel them and remove the seeds. Palm hearts, I'm not sure. Avocado, if you're not allergic, should be fine. How much fat per day would you recommend for normalizing energy levels? That's more than just fat. I mean, that I'd have to know the context of your whole diet to really speculate. Lead paint would Andrew Domzalski, thanks for the support, man.
Best probiotics on carnivore? I think I might need some because I was born C-section and not breastfed. Always had mental issues. Started making kefir from raw milk.
Thanks, Mulch. I'll touch on that in a second. And Zach, same with your question as well. So, EMF, I would check out EMF Minimalist. He has some good stuff on his channel. In regards to reducing EMF, it's every single device has this different thing. So, like your router, you can wrap it in tinfoil or you can make a cage out of aluminum mesh. For your smart meter, you can, wrap it in aluminum mesh as well. Make a pattern of aluminum mesh for your microwave, your phone, everything. You can, like landline box, you can orient mesh around it to block the EMF signal. And then in regards to just blocking EMF when you're sleeping, they do sell EMF fabric, and you can make like a bed cage. If I really had bad EMF problems, I would like buy a shitload of aluminum mesh, and I would create like a cage around my bed in a way. I would like make it so like I would cover the floor, and I'd make like three walls along the bed, and then I'd put a top on it, like a house with one side open, and I'd leave that one side open, and I'd sleep with that. And I would test the EMF in the bed after I set up that mesh. Healthiest liver might be like a migratory bird's liver because they store a lot of vitamin K2 in the liver. Um, best probiotics on carnivore. I think I might need some because I was born C-section and not breastfed. Always had mental issues. It depends on what foods you're allergic to. Like a lot of people think that they're going to benefit from consuming probiotic dairy, but I'm allergic to dairy, so for me that just makes my stomach worse. So if you want to try probiotic foods, you could try high meat. I personally, when I tried high meat, I have really bad histamine intolerance, and the high meat made me go like crazy. Like I had super bad insomnia when I eat high meat. So uh, in regards to probiotics, I would just try to consume high quality meat, um, keep a nutrient dense diet, and unless you're having specific gut issues, I wouldn't worry too much about beneficial gut bacteria. Zach Miller donated $2 to Super Chat. Can a carnivore diet heal facial eczema and psoriasis? So I mean, the main thing that's going to fix that problem for most people is removing inflammation from the diet, and that can be achieved in a variety of ways. It doesn't necessarily have to be specifically a carnivore diet, but the carnivore diet does it very easily because you're really consuming very few foods. In addition to removing inflammation, things like retinol that's found in animal liver, fat soluble vitamins, vitamin D3, especially from the sun, things that people are deficient in can really help your skin. And if going on a carnivore diet and increasing your nutrient density doesn't heal your skin, nothing will. That's one way to put it. Devin, thoughts on coconut water? So I really like the idea of coconut water. What's the what form of sugar is in coconut water? Is it fructose and glucose? Does anyone know? Does anyone know the ratio of fructose to glucose in coconut sugar? Um, but the main issue with coconut water, yes, on paper it looks like a great source of magnesium, potassium, electrolytes. But the issue one is you want to get it fresh out of a coconut. So most people should not be drinking coconut water unless they have access to fresh coconut. Yeah, but it is a great. If I had access to fresh coconut, I think it's a great hydration. And the stuff that comes in the bottles in the store, like the cartons, I don't think it's raw. I think it's
Why
pasteurized.
not debate him, Frank?
Why not debate? What do you mean? Oh, is vegan gains in the chat? As much as I like coconut water, under the constituent that you have, fresh raw coconut and can, I went to, I bought some coconuts in like a local Asian market and I cracked them open and the water is like it's old, it's not good. It really depends on the quality you have access to. So if I was in like a place, a tropical place where there was coconut water, I'd probably drink it. Um, so no one knows what the fructose to glucose ratio of coconut water is. All right, let me try to find it out. Just give me 1 second, guys. Coconut sugar is 70 to 79% sucrose and only 3% to 9% each of fructose and glucose. Okay. So what's the sucrose is sucrose is absorbed by all cells just like glucose, right? Or does sucrose have to go to the liver too? Sucrose digestion does not begin until the sugar reaches the small intestine. Your body cannot absorb polysaccharides, so it must first break sucrose down into its component parts. Occurs very slowly. Sucrase an enzyme. All right, so sugar. Okay, so that's an issue. So just I was doing a bit of research on Steve Jobs and how his fruitarian diet played a role in his pancreatic cancer. But I've been doing some reading on fructose, glucose, sucrose, their metabolism in the body, just to get an understanding of whether sugar consumption in the context of fruit and honey is warranted. And it's starting to be very clear that if you're going to consume sugar in any way, shape, or form, it should be in a small amount as infrequently as possible, separate from other meals. So, but just to summarize, fructose puts an incredible amount of stress on the liver. Fructose cannot be metabolized anywhere else in the body. So you have the fructose in the coconut water. Glucose is readily available and can be utilized by all cells very quickly, but glucose in the coconut water is relatively low. And then the sucrose has to be absorbed by the sucralase enzyme. So it depends on, I don't think coconut water is an issue really. You could drink I think you could drink 2 or 3 coconuts worth of water, whatever it takes to hydrate, is perfectly fine. I don't think there's an issue with that. But like when we get into deeper into like consuming large amounts of fruit, consuming honey frequently, like if you think about when indigenous people would have consumed honey, maybe they came across it every few weeks at best, and when they did come across honey, they ate it with the grubs and the larva and the honeycomb and the whole nest. So realistically, they wouldn't have had more than like a couple. I mean, they might have had a couple tablespoons of honey at once. They might have had quite a bit of sugar, but it was a much more nutrient dense version of honey, and it would have had a bunch of other stuff with it that was contained in the nest. So unless you're eating like killer bee nests, then honey consumption is hard to warrant. I mean, that being said, would I put a tablespoon of honey in some raw ice cream every night? Of course. I think that's okay. Uh, but I definitely would be concerned about really any more than like 20, 25 grams of sugar per day. For me, creatine, I know, like it certainly works. Like creatine definitely works. It increases your anaerobic capacity greatly, but the question is whether or not it's really natural to be taking that powder. Because I mean, you got people. I was zero carb carnivore when I was lifting weights for my physique competition back in 2015, and I noticed that even eating 3 to 4 pounds of meat a day, I still benefited greatly from taking creatine. So it's hard for me to speculate. I don't understand enough of the biochemistry behind creatine metabolism in the body and whether or not it's harmful. So for me, I personally don't care about performance, so I don't take creatine. If I did want to take creatine, I would probably look into. Well, we can Google it now. How creatine is metabolized. Metabolism and storage of creatine. Between 1 to 2 grams of creatine can be consumed from the diet per day. However, the body will use 2 grams of creatine per day to perform everyday activities. The average adult stores 120 grams to 140 grams of creatine in the body. The creatine content of beef is 4.5 grams per kilogram. So if you're really active, you're pretty much, and you're consuming a carnivore diet, it's pretty safe to say that you're going to be still storing creatine. But I guess the thing is so if you're on a carnivore diet and you don't take exogenous creatine, then your body is pretty much, the stores are never at full capacity. So I guess when people front load creatine, and this is where I saw the benefits of creatine when I was taking, 5-10 grams of creatine a day, and that makes sense because you're keeping your creatine stores very high. So it definitely works. Is it healthy to have creatine at that high of a level? It's certainly not natural, but a lot of things we do aren't natural. So whether or not the metabolism of creatine, like what process is needed, like is creatine processed by the liver? What is it stressing out any organs? Uh, the side effects of creatine might include kidney damage, liver damage, kidney stones, bloating, dehydration, muscle cramps. Yeah, so definitely, to me, if you're going to take creatine, I think consuming it with a meal or over the course of the day very slowly seems to be the best bet. Giordano, is it possible to reverse gray hair via diet? I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into gray hair, from stress to diet to exercise. So it can be one component, but it's not necessarily going to reverse it itself. Well, I think of the new Bonnie Rebecca video. She was vegan, but she had an omelet for lunch, right? I didn't watch the whole thing. I just skimmed through it. Oh, she's vegan, but she just had an omelet for lunch. Like, she really should be consuming more nutrient density. I have a feeling she's gonna like relapse back into veganism and feel like shit again. Hey Frank, just watch your radiation video. Does food that you microwave cause your food to be radioactive? I don't think it's that. I think it actually microwaves form heterocyclic amines. They form carcinogens in the actual thing you're microwaving. But the EMF from a microwave is so high, you have to like run across the house to, I don't think you should be microwaving your food. Like, I'm never going to do it, so I haven't really looked into what the waves specifically do to your food. Like saying that vegans don't have a higher risk of anemia, I can bring up a study right now. uh, which video did I do? Let me go find it. Like even vegetarians, if you look at studies of vegetarians versus
I bet if
even
you
just vegetarians versus meat eaters, not just vegans, they have higher levels of anemia, higher rates of anemia. But where did I put anti-nutrients, iron? Let me look and see if I don't remember which video I put the iron study on. Anemia, vegan. I'm trying to remember which video it was on. I was talking about what the negatives of oh, here it is. So this is German female vegans. Although the mean iron intake was above the recommended level, 40% of the women were considered iron deficient. It is suggested that, especially on a vegan diet, they should have their iron status monitored and should consider taking iron supplements. So they were all consuming dietary iron, but it's obviously getting metabolized very differently. And the reason for this is iron requires although vegans will say iron requires vitamin C to be metabolized and you should take a vitamin C supplement with it, iron also requires vitamin A in the form of retinol to be metabolized and some fat, and a lot of vegans don't consume that in large amounts. So if you guys want to check out that study, it's in I've referenced that in a couple of videos. There's a bunch of other ones. If you guys ever want to find a study on something, whether to debunk it or to justify it or to figure something out, you literally just Google like iron, vegans, and CBI, and it comes up. It's very easy to find. Can you talk about the effects of enemas? Like most the enemas that most people do don't really do much besides relieve constipation. If you do enemas that are very like, if you do colon hydrotherapy and flush your whole digestive tract out, you're going to be removing a lot of gut bacteria. If you do it with like a substance like coffee, that's really killing both negative and positive microbes. But I don't see the point of doing like colon hydrotherapy when you could do like a vitamin C flush.
Are carbs and sugar, lactose bad?
Uh, Holocaust, I'll touch on that in a second. So a vitamin C flush is when you just take a shitload of vitamin C and you get like 20 grams of ascorbic acid powder and you drink it and it'll flush out your whole digestive tract. And vitamin C is antimicrobial. So if you have candida, if you have fungal overgrowth, if you have SIBO, vitamin C will flush out everything in your digestive tract, everything out. And then the bacteria will go back into the biofilm. So Holocaust, thanks for the support, man. Are carbs and sugar lactose bad? So the issue with lactose is it depends on your body's ability to produce the lactase enzyme. If you're like me and your body and you're lactose intolerant, your body doesn't produce a lot of the lactose enzyme or any at all. The gut bacteria, what happens is you consume the lactose, the gut bacteria is going to eat it. Or your body's going to try to expel it through the skin. That's why you break out with acne sometimes when you have dairy. So the gut bacteria is going to eat it, and then your body might absorb that gut bacteria as well. But a lot of the issues that I had in the past from the candida stemmed because I was drinking all this milk. My body wasn't producing the lactase enzyme, and it was just sitting in my stomach, and the lactose was being eaten by my gut bacteria because I didn't have the enzyme to digest the lactose. So if you're not lactose intolerant, there's nothing wrong with drinking raw milk. But if you are lactose intolerant, don't drink milk. Like, don't continue to drink it even if you're only getting low-level inflammatory reactions, because it could cause very negative things in the long run for your gut bacteria. At least that's my anecdotal experience. I'm kind of speculating on that. If Frank, YouTube automatically unsubscribed me from your channel. That's weird. You sure it was Are sure you just didn't see like me in the crop top in my vegan video? Frank looks like an anorexic child. Do I look like an anorexic child? You just want to see me with my shirt off, don't you? I'm sorry, Richard. You gotta write a check for that. Gotta write a check, schedule in advance. What do you think my 5K time is? I can't run, dude. I haven't been running lately. The fastest I've run a mile is only on a treadmill. I could probably get below 7 minutes pretty easily. I was working on getting one of my goals this year was to get a 6 minute mile, but depends on how I feel. Because right now with the interviews I'm going on and my bartending shit, I'm so tired when I go to the gym. I just hit the bag for like half an hour and then I leave. Nothing really breaks down biofilms. It's very difficult to. All right, to do this, take a drop of oregano oil. Put a drop of oregano oil on your lip. See how much it swells up. It's gonna be like, it's painful. You can drink like a lot of oregano. You can have like 15, 20 mils of oregano oil. And if that doesn't break down the biofilm, what will? Do you understand? Like, the bacteria has so much mucus that it produces. The real way to do it is to just consume. The reason you consume antimicrobials isn't to necessarily break down the biofilm. It's to make sure your body absorbs the nutrients in the food you're eating with the microbials. And then if you have to, then your goal is to figure out the underlying issue about to why you're having gut issues. Um, is it that your stomach acid is low? Is it that your liver function is impaired for some reason? Hi, Frankie, little boy. How you doing? What you call me? Is it we gonna start making fun of my height? Do we have to bring this up on every live stream? Stop asking these dudes for health advice. They don't know everything. If you're trying to get healthy, seek a functional medicine doctor who knows what they're talking about. That's what Steve Jobs did. You know where he's at now, right? What are we like at the playground? Like, are we like gonna drop our shorts and measure our dicks? Like, what are you guys arguing about? You guys do understand I don't work out anymore, right? Like, I don't care how muscular I am. Like, if you want to use like bodybuilding as a metric for how healthy my diet is, I mean, I don't work out. I don't know what to tell you. But even raw milk, Adonis saying that intolerance to raw milk is pretty non-existent. Adonis thought that his internal bleeding caused from breaking his spine would be cured with raw honey and butter, and he died in the hospital. So I think it's safe to say that Adonis Vonderplanitz was not correct on a few things. But to answer your question that intolerance to raw milk doesn't exist, it's because people didn't have allergies back then when Adonis was alive. Adonis didn't have experience with
Hey
people.
Frankie,
Um,
this donation is for triggering vegan gains.
Thanks, bud. Uh, when Jonas Vonderplanitz was working, primarily, more people were breastfed. They didn't have these allergies to milk. There were less allergies back then. So that's why Adonis formed his hypothesis that people weren't allergic to raw milk. I've drank every raw milk there is. Every raw milk. A2, Guernsey. I've drank sheep milk. I've drank goat milk, all raw. Made me very sick. I drank raw sheep milk, had insomnia for a week. My sister drank the same sheep milk, had insomnia. Best source of potassium. I mean, meat has 1,400 milligrams of potassium per pound. Seaweed is a good source though for natural in regards to natural foods. From your experience, how does a long fast affect sleep, particularly sleep quality? Initially, it might be hard to sleep the first few days after fasting, but once you're like 3 to 4 to 5 days into a fast, then you sleep better. What's the best raw milk? Sheep milk has a higher fat content, it's more nutritious. What do you think of Joe Bastianich? I don't really have an opinion. You have to understand who, like, when someone is born into success, like, I don't really like, what am I going to talk about? Like, his mother was one of the most successful, like, TV chefs ever. Dude, talk about the Discord. Someone emailed me saying they wanted to make a Discord for you guys to talk on. How involved is making a Discord? Do you just set it up, then I got to have moderators in it? Or are those you guys going to be playing Ram Ranch all day in the Discord? Well, no, Vegan Gains is okay with calling me out for a debate because he knows I won't fucking do any preparation whatsoever. He knows I'll just come into the debate and just bullshit the whole time. So, I mean, I don't sit at my fucking desk I don't sit at my desk all day compiling up anti-carnivore notes or like debate bullshit. I focus on actually improving people's health and well-being. And like today, I mean, today I was making hygiene products, so I had a job interview the other day. So I actually do things outside of trying to make myself look smart. But I mean, there's plenty of things that you can bring up anecdotally and logically that it can be dismissed very easily from any appeal to nature point of view or whatever. If I brought up something like why did like if I asked Richard, do you think a vegan diet is the healthiest diet? I don't know what his answer could be, but regardless of what his answer is, I can't really prove that a vegan diet. It's hard for me to prove that a vegan diet is deficient. I mean, I could show all these anecdotes. I could show people that you need to supplement B12 and take all these supplements, that a vegan diet isn't natural. But the health of the general population in general is so poor that the metric for health is set at a bar that's so low. It's hard for me to prove that. Guys, I can't even convince carnivore dieters that they need to eat more nutrients, let alone argue against a vegan. I could bring up an argument, okay, so how come no civilization ever has subsisted off of a vegan diet? and then we could go into like the argument. Like, this is not about logic and reason and common sense and health. An argument is about a debate is about being right or wrong. And if you guys want to watch 4 hours of circle jerking, just go to the Joel Kahn Chris Kresser podcast. I could say plenty of things that anyone with a logical perspective would say, oh well, yeah, vegan diet's fucking stupid. Look how many people are anemic. Look at the failure rate for the diet. Look at what every indigenous group ate. Look at natural food palatability in nature and what we have access to. Look at agriculture and how it's transformed foods over the past few thousand years. There's dozens of things we can look at to just from a logical perspective that make it so a vegan diet doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And then there's plenty of anecdotal examples of people failing on a vegan diet, and there's plenty of scientific evidence showing that we need nutrients that are not like there is perfect evidence showing that you can't obtain nutrients from plant foods in certain ways, and the only way that you can is through supplemental form or unrealistic food. Like I can make an argument, like if DHA supplements didn't exist, then a vegan diet wouldn't be justifiable. But most vegans don't take DHA supplements. They don't understand that you would literally need to consume a toxic amount of flax seeds to get enough DHA from someone eating fish. So I don't really think I have to go too much more into that, but it's not worth my time or my investment. With my basis of knowledge is not about he just lied about something I said. He does absolutely no research and he just talks out his ass. That's why he won't debate. What I do is I form a hypothesis based on a preconceived notion. So, for example, if I think that if I think that a vegan's diet gave them anemia, I'm going to go look up studies. I'm going to show that studies that show that vegans have higher rates of anemia. Then I'm going to go look up a study on how iron is metabolized in the body, comparing heme iron to non-heme iron. And then it's going to show that heme iron is readily available to cells and non-heme iron is excreted in the fecal matter. And that's why vegans are anemic. If I do that, just because I can't specifically explain the biomechanical metabolism of heme iron versus non-heme iron, non-heme iron, I think the point I make is very clear and people can understand that and do the research themselves. And the purpose isn't to be a biochemist and explain things from a scientific perspective, because even in the first debate I had with Vegan Gains, I was saying throughout the debate, both of us are not qualified to talk about it. So if Vegan Gains wants to discredit me and saying me I do absolutely no research and talk on my ass, every one of my videos has studies and sources on it. And I do the same exact thing you do. I bring up a study and I talk on it and I don't explain it. We both use the studies to push our own point of view. And whether or not you actually look into the study to see how credible it is, most nutritional studies, the relative risk is too low. It's not even credible from an epidemiological standpoint. We can only really hypothesize using logic and reason. There's no end all be all objective answer. You have to use a combination of studies, logic, reason, and anecdotes to form your opinion. That's why my version of the carnivore diet appeals to a lot of people. Partly other reasons too, but having an understanding of all of these elements helps you explain things and get people to understand things. And I don't have any sort of incentive or agenda to do this. I initially got into making YouTube videos to improve people's health through nutrient-dense animal foods, and it so happened to be that a vegan diet is the opposite of that. That's why I talk shit about vegan diet so much. Please show one single study that vegans have higher rates of anemia. I don't give a shit because I can literally go watch a video of some Norwegian girl fucking shaking because she's anemic. Like, I can go look up videos of vegans that physically are fading away on YouTube and they look like they're fading away. I can go watch videos why do I need to explain to you in a study how these people are fucking emaciated? Like, if I go into I'm walking down the street yesterday. I was in Chelsea and
Why are vegans using any modern-made inventions or products not made by themselves? They support the deaths of sentient beings by financially supporting those who consume animal
no life is
products.
cruelty free.
Modern agriculture
No
kills
life is
billions.
cruelty free. Well, if you have a
Hey
washing
Frankie,
machine, if you do
tried
anything,
raw milk, raw butter, sashimi and tartar for a week after 4 years 95% plant-based. Feeling like newborn. Videos coming.
thanks for the
Cheers,
support,
brother.
guys. Thanks. I'll get to these questions in a minute.
let's talk about. So let's just talk briefly about like actual impact of your diet on, like cruelty and stuff. So if you consume any sort of grain or legume product, if you consume any plant product, they spray a fuck ton of glyphosate, herbicides, pesticides. If you consume grains, you have killed hundreds of insects. So what is the objective? Is morality is not objective. It is not. It is completely subjective. So at what point do you say, is it better for me to kill 2 cows to eat for a year? Or is it better for you to kill hundreds of insects, dozens of rabbits, baby deer, rodents, but it's okay for you to do it because you didn't intentionally do it? You did intentionally do it. You intentionally bought those grains from the supermarket instead of going locally or growing them yourself. You knew that harvesting the grain and the wheat from a commercial perspective kills those insects and those animals, and you bought it and you supported commercial agriculture. If you're a vegan supporting commercial agriculture, you should not be arguing with me. And I've seen where Richard buys his food. I know where he eats out. He supports commercial agriculture. Tomorrow I have some Amish guy driving over from Pennsylvania, and he's gonna set up his shit in the Union Square Green Market, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pay him a shitload of money to buy high quality grass fed meat that was grown locally on pasture, and the animal had a life it should have, and it had a positive impact on the environment. I'm going to go pay $8 a dozen for duck eggs because I'm fucking stupid. I'm going to do those things because I actually do care about the environment. I care about the food quality, and I care about just the planet in general. And the impact that I'm having by supporting this local stuff is, for a vegan to try to argue with me about that is insane. And then they'll bring up the discussion, oh well, not everyone can do that, not everyone can afford that. They don't want to. Just like a vegan wants to go into Whole Foods and buy their fucking food for the week, they don't want to support local. It's hard to do. These vegan girls, they want to get slammed by fucking Chad every Friday night after getting shit faced in the club. They don't want to go to the. They don't want to have to wake up early to go to the farmers market after their legs are wobbling. All right, let me get back to let's get a little more reasonable. So, Bu, thanks so much for $20, man. That's a lot of money. Why are vegans using any modern man-made inventions or products not made by themselves? They support the deaths of sentient beings while financially supporting those who consume animal products. Modern agriculture kills billions. Of course, the problem always stems from just modern conventional agriculture. It's unfortunate. Nothing is cruelty-free, and this planet's going to shit in 50, 60 years anyway. So why are you guys worried about the planet anyway? Philippe VV, I'm glad things are working out for you, man. Definitely reach out to me if you want to do a next plant-based video. Let me know. Um, Feeling like a newborn video is coming. Oh, you're making videos yourself? That's great. Steven Stanichev, thanks for the support, guys. Debate Bart K vegan gains. VG, you retarded soy boy. Debate Bart K. Okay, so I don't think I need to explain this to people, but Bart K is
Hi
relatively
Frank,
new.
great informative channel. Keep it up, brother. Message to Vegan Gains. Richard, finally go debate Bart K if you have the balls.
Vladislav Gurgle, thanks for the support, man. But I was about to just touch on that. For those of you guys saying vegan gains, debate Bart K, debate Bart K, debate Bart K. I spent like 2.5 years making videos on YouTube, and then I reached out to Vegan Gains, and he was kind enough to debate me. For the amount of views I had on my channel at the time, I mean, I do pretty well on YouTube. I was doing pretty well at the time, so it warranted him to have a debate with me. And we both get publicity, we both get views. That's the real benefit. We might change some opinions, we might educate some people. Well, Vegan Gains doesn't care about educating people on nutrition. He just cares about winning the debate and being right. I actually went into that debate with the mindset of educating people. Unfortunately, Bart K is relatively new to YouTube, so and for like what he has to, I mean, to if I was in Bart's
2.
shoes,
S1. Is grain-fed liver better than no liver? 2. What about cured meats, salami, sausage, etc.? Are they okay?
Ernest, thanks for the support, man. If I was Bart, I would just do what I've been doing for 2.5 years. I would churn out very high quality content. I would focus on the video quality. I would focus on explaining things to people and just educating people. And because whether or not I decide to debate vegan gains again, if I come out with 2 or 3 anti-vegan videos a week, why do you think vegan gains is coming in my chat, and why do you think vegan gains is making videos about me? Because for me to make a response video to vegan gains or to make a response video to all this nonsense, to do a debate, I could do a debate. I'll do one if you guys want me to do one. But to me, if I just keep making anti-vegan videos, that's the reason he keeps coming in my chat. Uh, Ernest, thanks again for the support, and thank you so much, guys, for the support today. Um, I'll make a deal. If you guys keep donating money, I'll have the longest live stream ever. At least for not using the bathroom or drinking water or taking a shit. Because I'm pretty sure any vegan right now, what are we, 50 minutes in? Yeah, a vegan would have probably had 1 or 2 bowel movements by now. I mean, you guys don't know if I just shit on the floor, you know, who knows? uh, is grain-fed liver better than no liver? Yeah, there's like, you know, you got to say if you're deficient in vitamin A, for example, or you're deficient in omega-3, is it bad to consume, you know, potentially harmful liver or like inflammatory omegas, like not inflammatory, but like oxidized fish oil to fix a deficiency? Well, consuming oxidized fish oil is certainly better than being deficient in omega-3 and DHA. Certainly better. Um, but as you know, I would use it as a temporary measure to restore your vitamin A. And then, like, if I had only had access to grain-fed liver, I'd have it like once a month, once every 2 months. The cured meats depend on the quality. So if you don't have access to good quality liver, I'm assuming the charcuterie you're buying isn't good either. Because I go buy charcuterie, I buy, you know, Iberico. I mean, I don't eat it that much anymore because I can't tolerate the histamine sometimes. But if you're buying really high quality charcuterie, wild boar sausage is actually relatively cheap from D'Artagnan, but most commercial bacon, most cured meats, unfortunately, are made from very high omega-6. So they're high in omega-6, they're high in histamines, they tend to have some preservatives added in some cases. So cured meat depends specifically on how it was produced. If you have Iberico ham, DOC from Spain, or you're visiting Spain and there's some DOC Iberico ham, then yeah, eat it. If you have prosciutto di Parma with just salt on it from high quality pork, you know, eat it. That's fine. But there's a big difference between that and, you know, what's it, Johnsonville sausage that my dad eats? My nonsense gives me content. I'm not saying, I mean, I'm full of nonsense. Anyone that knows me would say that, but there's some merit to what I say. Vegan Gains wants to go carnivore. You know what's funny is one of the big things that bothers me is, you know, if I go and cheat on my carnivore diet and I eat vegetables, I'm not getting anything by doing that. There's no benefit to me consuming vegetables. There's no vitamin or mineral in vegetables that I'm not getting from my diet already. So by me doing that and cheating from my diet, it doesn't really matter because there's nothing in meat that is there's nothing I'm not getting from meat. But if Vegan Gains is having eggs, an omelet off camera, you know, that the biggest issue with vegan, and listen, I can't tell you how many vegans I've talked to that were vegan for years and years and years, and they had so much, they would cheat every few months and have so much guilt because their cravings were so bad. And you guys see how many vegans on YouTube were vegan for like a year and no one knew. They were making vegan videos, vegan day of eating, filming happy hippy dippy vegan bullshit, playing happy music in the background with all these shots, and they weren't even vegan. They were eating eggs. They were killing. They were slicing open Clucky and fucking Dutchie the Dutch and his crab. They were slicing. They were eating all the meat, all the eggs. They were eating meat, and they were pretending to be vegan because they were worried about the backlash from the community. And you don't know how many. I'm sure that what would you call them? A closet carnivore or a closet vegan? And I'm sure half the fucking vegans on YouTube eat eggs and shit, like, but just pretend to be vegan. And you know it. You know these people wouldn't last this long on a vegan diet. If these people are truly eating what they're showing in the videos, like, there's no way they're lasting. Like, these girls would be dropping dead. Prosciutto di San Daniele. Yeah, that's good stuff. Man, I could really use a smoothie of some plant-based sugars. Someone donated $100. Someone donated $100. I hear you. Someone said they would donate $100 if I did a video on Hench Herbivore or Dr. Greger. So I told them to write the check. YouTube is a bunch of actresses, that's why. I find it funny when a girl calls herself an actress. I've been trying to act in New York for like 2.5 years now. It is one of the fucking most ridiculous. I've almost given up in a sense, but would you guys want to see a video on what my, I mean, I'm not a good actor. I did a bunch of student films. I have a reel on my Patreon. If you don't, guys don't have to sign up for my Patreon to see my reel. You just have to go to the Patreon, and my reel's on the Patreon in public. If you want to see my student film reel, the issue with the student films I went on, it's one take. So I go to show up, I memorize the script, I show up at the studio, we do one take, that's it. I don't get any good footage. So for that, for it being the first take, I'm pretty happy with what I got. But I've been acting for since my draw cert, maybe like the maybe like early 2018. I started getting into late 2017 actually was when I started acting a little more seriously. And when I was into it, I was getting like one or two professional auditions every month. Uh, Never really did anything. Never really got a professional gig though, so maybe I'll jump back in. That's why I'm growing my hair. I wanted to get headshots with curly hair. I have two SAG waivers on my desk over here. I need one more SAG waiver to join the union. Get into hosting. I use the hosting reel on I use that host that the clip where I was on Good Day New York Memorial Day cooking as like a part of a hosting reel. But what are you gonna do? I would be a really good TV. Like I'd be a really good host. And I don't listen, guys. I'm I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. One thing I am incredibly good at is on the spot bullshit. Like I used to take I would take tests in college without studying, and I wouldn't fail it, but I get like a 75 or 80 without studying. So I'm a very wing it kind of guy. Like I'm a very I don't need to leave New York. I could get SAG. I could do all my professional shit in New York. I don't have to move out to LA. I'm gonna probably if I get an agent in New York, if I can't get an agent in New York, then I can't get an agent in LA. Frankie did an excellent vegan gains impression earlier. I don't think I intentionally did a vegan gains impression. What did I do? Was I talking like this? Straight Italian male trying to act in New York. Lol, no wonder you can't get any work. I mean, I don't really take classes anymore. I just really just apply to Actors Access and shit online. So I'm not really networking or anything. Do the MasterChef judges like your dish? That's just a setup show. I'm not going to be on next season though. They didn't accept me. What's my opinion on the appeal to nature fallacy? Can you give me an example of an appeal to nature fallacy that is not good? Can you give me an example of like an appeal to nature fallacy that is no that has no merit to it or that's stupid? Can you give me one? Grass-fed organ supplements. I think cod liver oil is better, so I wouldn't consume desiccated beef liver if you had cod liver oil. Yeah, I talked about that earlier, Sean. Two cows versus thousands of small animals. I live in upstate New York. It's way different than downstate. Jesse, what are you talking about? You think I can kill an animal? I went down to the live kill market in Queens the other day, and me and Abdul did a little shh on a lamb. Vegan Gaines would be pissed if he saw what I did that day. I worked as a bartender in some very high end restaurants in New York, so I knew a lot about food. So and I cooked a lot. I worked as a line cook when I was younger, so I have pretty decent cooking background, especially compared to other people on that show. Unofficial Discord server until Frank feels like making an account. I have an account on Discord because I went on Raj Patel's show on Twitch a while back, and I was gonna eat some liver on Twitch, but they wouldn't let me. TOS. You missed the echo brackets for the Jews. What are you talking about? Hey, Chris Grant, what's up, man? Can you link a cod liver oil, preferably a capsule form? Check out my Amazon shop, and check out in the comments is perfectsupplements.com. In the description, perfectsupplements.com has my affiliate link. Let me see if I could link it for you. So perfectsupplements.com, use the code Frankie BOY at checkout, and you can buy Rosita cod liver oil. I don't actually promote buying anything. I always say people get it from Whole Foods. but Rosita is the best quality cod liver oil, and it's not on Amazon right now. It's only on perfectsupplements.com. Rosita is supposed to come to Amazon soon, from what I've heard. So when Rosita does come to Amazon, I probably
Abysmally low.
won't be. I'm not sure if Perfect Supplements has any other products I would sell or promote, but uh, we'll see. But Perfect Supplements has, so you could just go to perfectsupplements.com, get the Rosita cod liver oil, and it's expensive. It's not like Rosita cod liver oil. Like I can't afford to use that, but if you can, what is sold out? Dude, I probably made this fucking Eden Celtic Salt Company so much money. I probably literally made them like
Love the
thousands of dollars.
content. One of my favorite memories, me and sister eating pig ears at pig slaughter, just seared.
Hey, Steven, that's cool. Yeah, that's part of culture that we don't have anymore, unfortunately. Browser on top form today. I didn't even look in the mirror before I came on stream. I just combed my hair. Yeah, I've heard of skate liver oil. What trait is absent in animals that is, if absent in humans, would make it moral to kill and eat humans? It's the ability. I don't know what it's called. Cognizance. It's like, I mean, just the fact that we've created morals and that we're self-aware is already unrealistic. Because if you let a child just live in the wilderness, they would have like wild. It's like a feral cat. They would still have their wild instincts. Humans can be like that, what people don't realize. Expensive and sold out. That fish oil, Frankie, the one you recommend. Oh, I could actually sell it myself. I can contact Rosita. I can buy a case of it, and I could resell it to you guys. But I don't know if I want to do that because I'd probably have to buy like a at least 100 bottles of cod liver oil, which would cost me like probably like 2 grand. So I don't want to sit on 2 grand of cod liver oil and not be able to sell it. Is white fish real good? Yeah, it's fine. Why do you guys care about how tall I am? There's a bunch of cod liver on my Amazon shop too. Where's the link to you being on Raj's show? Oh man, I don't. It was back in the, it was months ago. It was summer of last year. I don't know if I could find it. Do I live alone? I have an apartment in my grandma's house that I stay at usually. But most of the time, during the day I'm up at my parents'. Then I drive back down to the city, or I drive back down to one of the boroughs where my grandma is. I only filmed like one video at my grandma's house. That was a day in the life video. You're selling your makeup? I don't sell I sell hygiene products, not makeup. Tell him to get wipes. Yeah, I'm 5'8". Yeah, my channel is monetized. Is that cod liver oil super fishy tasting? No, it's not. It's not. I'm gonna contact Rosita and see if I can get some cases of cod liver oil. No, I mean no, my it's my grandma. Well, it's one of my grandma's. So my grandma's house is, she stays there, but I stay in one of the apartment buildings that she owns. So there's a bunch of other tenants here. 6'9", baby. What's the problem with eating meat in a balanced diet? You mentioned vegans, but don't really touch on individuals talking on a balanced diet. Can you elaborate on that question? What is the problem with eating meat in a balanced diet? You mentioned vegans, but don't really touch on individuals. Are you asking me if meat is dangerous to consume on a balanced diet? Like, I don't understand what you're asking. Are Italians white? Some people don't think so. Depends on who you ask, really. Do you ever hang out with people and socialize? We can tell. We can. later in the stream we can get more personal, but right now I just want to focus on questions. Because I did talk about this on my last stream, so if we don't talk about it today, you guys can go watch the last hour or so of the last live stream. What age do I want to live to? I don't get to choose that. Why Eskimos don't have male pattern hair loss? Because nutrient deficiency is what causes hair loss, in my opinion. And they're not nutrient deficient. They have plenty of fat soluble vitamins and vitamin D3. How do I deal with constipation? Vitamin C or magnesium flush. You will shit your brains out. Yeah, that's what I said. 6'9". Do I have any siblings? How many of you guys don't know that I'm a triplet? How many of you guys don't know that I'm a triplet? I'm Italian American. I don't speak a word of Italian. Frankie BOY, hello from Lithuania and Latvia. What's going on? Is bone marrow from a grain-fed animal bad? Grain-fed bone marrow is one of the most disgusting things I've tasted in my life. It's inedible. Please check out Medlife Crisis, Carnivore critiquing debunking video he's in. I did. I looked at that, but do you guys want to watch that now? He didn't even, he doesn't, I left a comment on his video, I think.
People from different...
This guy's a fucking moron. Doctor, hold on. Doctor dissects the carnivore diet. The guy's in fucking, what is it called? Residency. Go suck my dick. This is what I posted. It doesn't have a lot of upvotes because I didn't tell you guys about it. I said, there are many indigenous groups with very high animal fat consumption, most lying around 65% from animal foods. We did have a varied diet, but the presence of these animal foods is a constant. Meat has vitamin C, but you knew that because you did your research, right? And carbohydrate metabolism, can you guys see this? Is this, hold on. I'm sorry guys, hold on. Okay. Meat has vitamin C, but you knew that because you did your research, right? Also, carbohydrate metabolism creates a much higher demand for vitamin C. Seems like you should do a bit more research before attempting to debunk a diet. There are plenty of success and failure stories in the carnivore community. You didn't seem to look too hard. Most of it stems with the sheer variance between predominantly muscle meat and diet and high omega-6 versus a quality animal food-based diet. And then I said healthiest populations, blue zones, actually have these animal foods present in larger amounts than Americans and much higher quality. Oh, hi, Frankie. I always, if you guys notice, if someone does a smiley face to me, I always reply the smiley face the other way. Hey, Frank, how does it, so yeah, I mean, this guy is just, it's just another, like I don't want to watch 10 minutes of that because it's fucking nonsense. He didn't do his research on the diet. It's like Sean Baker trying to talk about nutrient density. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm not an identical triplet. I have a brother and a sister. My sister has been on carnivore. Let me see if I can show you guys her weight loss pictures. So this is the website, frank-stefano.com. Construction to be announced. Definitely need to fix it, but this is my sister's weight loss. It's not, is that big enough
Frank,
for you guys to see?
First time ever donating to a streamer. Keep up the great work and content. Could you touch on the topic of previously frozen meat and eating it raw after defrosting overnight? All my local farms sell previously frozen grass-fed, non-fresh.
Yeah, sure, Joe. I'll touch on that in a second.
Carnivore has nearly put me into remission of Lyme disease after 6 months. 20 plus years of symptoms and 5 years of treatment with little to no results.
It's great to hear of you. I'll touch on those in a second after I finish this guy. So this was my sister's weight loss. Henrik, I did a video debunking blue zones and explaining them. So just real quick, blue zones consume the same percentage of calories from animal foods and plant foods that Americans do. They're both 30% animal, 70% plant. The difference between Americans and blue zones is blue zones consume much higher quality animal foods and plant foods as well with no inflammatory foods. So my sister was 155 pounds on the left at 4'11", and on the right she's 105 pounds at 4'11". So she lost 50 pounds over the course of about a year. And then I have some testimonials here. Guys, I can't. I've done maybe. I have a few dozen testimonials I didn't gather, and I have a bunch of other stuff. I haven't really updated this website. I haven't updated this in months. Um, but the shop, uh, the lip balm actually isn't available. I don't know why it shows it for me. But my product package, if you guys don't know, I sell deodorant, tooth powder, moisturizing cream, and lip balm. Uh, this will be back in stock in a couple days. I will be adding a pomade. So there will be a pomade. So right now, this is $29.99 for these 4 products. And guys, you will not see better pricing for this quality product. And honestly, if this line does become successful, I think the market price would be higher. But I will be adding a pomade, and the pomade package will probably be $39.99 because pomade. I don't know if any of you guys use pomade from like American Crew or shit. Pomade is so expensive. These places charge 15, $20 for pomade. I'm gonna charge 10, which is way below market price. So I will be adding a pomade package, but you will still have to buy everything. So you have to buy the spearmint lip balm, the peppermint tooth powder, lemongrass deodorant, and lemon scented D3 moisturizing cream. It's available on back order. I got plenty coming in, so I should have them out within the week. What I will say is the pomade is it's not water based. So we'll go back to let's just look on we'll just look on my Amazon shop real quick because some of you guys were asking about this. Um, so this has like, I mean, I didn't buy this, but this is an EMF meter you guys can use if you want. Um, the EMF stuff is, if you want to check out my video today, that's a whole different story. But let me just show you guys some basic stuff I have on here. Just like 2 minutes real quick. Because some of you guys were asking about this. Here's some seaweeds. And someone asked about potassium. There's a reverse osmosis filter on here for water and some water testing stuff. For the guy that asked earlier about testing about what bottled water, these drinking water tests can help answer chlorine or fluoride contamination. These are a bunch of salts. This one always sells out because this one always sells out because I keep putting it. Then the price is going up too. This is a bunch of vitamin D3 and a bunch of cod liver oil. Let me take this stuff off. I'll take this stuff off. Actually, I probably shouldn't have done that. Is it gone now? Damn it. All right, whatever. So this is just this cod liver oil and stuff, vitamin D3, K2. This is just some really cheap kitchen stuff, like these Symmetra knives and stuff for $10 are amazing. Just some books that I can link you guys PDFs of this stuff. And this is just, I don't recommend getting this caviar. This is just like this stuff isn't that great quality. The Batar is okay, but this is like if you don't like cod liver oil, if you don't want to buy the canned cod liver, but let's get back to the chat. Do you get the same benefits from eating meat in a balanced diet? It depends on whether you're eating enough nutrient-dense animal foods. Joe, thanks for the 378, man. Can you touch on the topic of previously frozen meat and eating it raw after defrosting it overnight? On my local farm, sell previously frozen grass-fed, non-fresh. Yeah. So the nutrient density is still there. There is some concern about the cell structure and the integrity of some bacteria and enzymes, but I don't think frozen meat is too big of a deal, especially when you're comparing high-quality local grass-fed meat to fresh grain-fed supermarket meat. It's not even close. Just get the highest quality meat you have access to. If that's fresh, that's great. If it's not, I don't even have access to fresh grass-fed meat. It's always frozen after it's slaughtered. So unless you're literally killing the animal yourself, you're not going to have access to fresh. I do the same thing. I just defrost it overnight on the counter. I sear the outside though because the cryovac on the meat, the plastic on the meat gives it a flavor that I don't like. So I just throw it on the grill for like a minute on each side. Carnivores nearly put me into remission of Lyme disease after 6 months. 20 plus years of symptoms and 5 years of treatment with little to no results. No, that's great, man. You know, I mean, people, you know, people say carnivore dieting is a fad, but people are going to go on the diet. They're going to feel better. It's going to work. And if something works, people find out. Back months ago, when I had 3,000 subs, and the whole carnivore community was against me, like Sean Baker, Michaela Peterson, like didn't acknowledge me. No one gave a shit about organ meats. But what I was talking about, the nutrient density, the organ meats, the fat ratio, all these things, vitamin D3, sun, exercise, water. People are talking about them now because they realize they work. And now it's kind of like, oh, the truth is coming out. Same thing is going to be with the carnivore diet on a much larger scale in general. But the problem I have is these people were. My marketing standpoint is a carnivore diet removes all inflammation and is the most nutrient dense diet you can follow. Two things. Sean Baker's is eat meat. Like, what is he like? Sean Baker and Michaela Peterson, what their diets do is it removes inflammation. It doesn't optimize your health whatsoever. But for them not to think that, like, a selling point of the carnivore diet being its nutrient density, for them not to, like, a flashing red light, that is why the carnivore diet is not as successful as it could be. Right now, the carnivore diet is kind of like steadied off, so to speak. It's not as like there was a lot of hype around it a month, like 2, 3 months ago. Now it's kind of like leveled out, but that's because these articles get published about the diet not having certain vitamins because Michaela Peterson and Sean Baker literally don't know nutrient profiles of meat. Like,
How do you feel about black coffee, no sugar, no cream while on a carnivore diet?
hey, Terra Nova, I'll touch on that in a second, but you know, Sean Baker didn't know that liver had vitamin C when he was on drugs. You have these people who are in the public light that are known for the carnivore diet that don't know enough to sell the diet from a good perspective. It's unfortunate. Terra Nova, how do you feel about black coffee, no sugar, no cream on a carnivore diet? Black coffee, I did 2 videos on coffee. I did a second one right after because I forgot to touch on tea. But let's just look at what coffee is. Coffee is a fermented seed. So they take the coffee fruit. It looks like it's called the coffee cherry, I believe. They take the seed out. They take those seeds. Those seeds ferment for I think months to years in a pile, and then they heat them. They roast them. So what you essentially have is a rotten, oxidized seed, and seeds are very high in anti-nutrients like phytic acid and oxalates. Basically, what I'm saying, you could not have a food that is worse for your stomach than coffee, in my opinion. It is a plant food. It is so inflammatory from an anti-nutrient perspective, from a histamine perspective, uh, and the method it's flushing your body with liquid. I honestly, if someone wants to have a discussion with me about coffee, if you drink coffee and you're on the carnivore diet, if you drink coffee and you want to argue with me about nutrition or don't agree with me, like, you don't know what coffee is. Like I haven't really seen a lot of evidence against it, against what I'm saying. That is. I know I'm not able to answer all the questions, guys. If you want to ensure that the question gets answered, you could just donate through the Streamlabs link below. Let's not make enemies with Baker. Let's just keep reaching out to these brothers of Divinity. I don't give a shit because, like, Sean Baker bans my viewers on his Facebook groups. Listen, I've reached out to these people and they don't care. Like, it's not. I'm not making enemies with anyone. They've already done it with me. These people, Charles Washington, all these other carnivores. I've heard a lot of I have a friend who's friends with all these people, and I've heard, and they always talk shit about me for one reason or another. So they don't like me. So I'll say whatever the fuck I want, okay? I'm being very civil. I could say some very negative things about both Sean Baker and Michaela Peterson. Very negative things. I could say very negative things about other people, and there's nothing negative that they can say about me because I'm an open book. And anything they can say is an ad hominem attack. What I can say is actually discrediting them to some degree. I don't look so healthy in my eyes. You should have seen a picture when I was a kid, man. Let me bring up a picture when I was a kid for you. You guys are saying my eyes look bad now. All right, so I got 2 pictures for you guys. One of you guys, someone said that my jaw didn't look too bad, that I looked better before my surgery. So I'm going to show you a picture for that. And then someone just said my eye bags are terrible. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at Frankie BOY when he was actually a boy. So this is me when I was a kid. I don't know how old I was here, but I was young, playing baseball. See, I was born a boy. For those of you guys who say me that I'm a tranny, you know, fucking. So I had really bad eye bags when I was a kid, much worse than I have now. Um, and then for those of you guys who were saying I looked better before my jaw surgery, no, I did not. I did not look better before my jaw. This was my chin. I pretty much had the same face except my jaw. I just had my jaw was sticking out and I had a bigger chin. It didn't look good.
So is there a viable caffeine option for new carnivores, or should you just drop it
Let me see if I have another picture of.
altogether?
Let me see if I have another picture of my me before my jaw surgery. I actually do have fuck, I don't. Let me see if I could bring this up. I think it's too. Let me see if it's on my Instagram actually. Instagram.com/FrankTefano. I thought I had a picture of myself on my Instagram. I guess I didn't. Let's see. I can't find the other one, so we'll just use this one. I'm sorry, guys. I know this is blurry as fuck. Hold on. This is 2015 when I was training for the physique competition, and this was before my jaw surgery. So I didn't look too bad. Like you can't really tell by that picture though. Just like the picture, like the resolution's too fucking low. I can't find the original files that photographer sent me. That's all I have. Would you eat raw dry aged beef? Yeah, but that defies the point of dry aging, kinda. Thanks for the coffee question. Was just about to super chat the same. What's bad about Peterson? I mean, she drinks a lot, like, but definitely not helping her inflammation. About Frank saying he doesn't research, he said he doesn't prepare for the debates. Big difference. Yeah, no, guys, you don't understand. Every video I do so much fucking research on, but the debate, I don't give a shit. Debate is about how I act, really. Sean Baker blurs all his videos to hide his skin problems. Well, you guys know Sean Baker's like 50, and he's been on the carnivore diet for like a year and a half, 2 years. So it's not exactly a good indicator of the carnivore diet. What causes those massive rings under your eyes? Lack of nutrition, food allergies. She donated $10 to find an answer to a question she could have easily found the answer to online. What are you talking about? Oh, Terra Nova. Oh, I didn't see. I didn't see she did a second donation.
I've been trying to improve my diet, but I am just unable to drink milk. The taste and smell is just totally repulsive to me. So I was wondering, is cheese a good alternative, or would it just better to avoid it?
I mean, why don't you you're not consuming animal foods in general? I mean, raw, high quality dairy products are what you want. You don't want to drink milk unless it's raw and grass fed. Same thing with cheese. You want to eat raw, grass fed cheese. You don't want to eat low quality foods. And pastured eggs, meat, whatever high quality animal food you have access to is what you should consume. That would be the best thing to incorporate into your diet. Something you enjoy, that's an animal food that was raised as it was intended to be. But no, thank you guys so much for the support. Terra Nova, thanks for the two $5 donations. So is there a viable caffeine option for new carnivores, or should you just drop it altogether? I mean, some teas are caffeinated. Some, honestly, for me, one of the goals with my clients is to make sure that energy levels should be there. You shouldn't need caffeine. You don't need you don't need caffeine if you're doing everything right. And not using caffeine is an indicator to whether or not I'm doing my job as as coaching you to improve your health. Because if you're doing the things that I'm advocating for, I remember in the summer one catering event, I didn't sleep for 3 fucking days and I was still okay with energy. I was hallucinating, but energy wise, I was okay. No coffee, no anything. I didn't eat, only water. What do you think of avocados as a source of fat? Salicylates. I'm allergic to avocado. Makes my mouth swell. Oral allergy. Show that pic again. Wait. You guys are gonna have to. You guys have to write the check to see the picture again. Do you like eating mushrooms? From a culinary perspective? Yeah. I don't eat
Hey
them though.
Frankie boy, mushrooms are delicious, especially when fried in steak fat. Any positive, negative health effects of mushrooms?
Well, I was reading some stuff that mushrooms cause cancer for a couple weeks ago. I don't remember what it was. Um, but to me, the health benefits of mushrooms, I think it depends specifically on whether it's, the nutrient profile and the quality of what it was raised. Like if we look at chanterelle, I mean the mushrooms you're probably buying are just probably water. There's not much in them. Uh, the nutrient content is pretty insignificant. The vitamin D2 content can be decent. The mineral content can be good if it was a wild mushroom. Uh, some B vitamins are present in mushrooms, but this really depends on the quality. Again, I don't really think you're benefiting too much from consuming them, but are they negative? I would say so. Have you ever done personal training? Yeah, I used to work as a personal trainer. Lifetime Fitness actually opened up a gym in Manhattan and they didn't hire me. I had like 4 interviews or some shit. I had 4 interviews and then they didn't hire me. So I'm guessing maybe they saw my YouTube channel. I don't know why they didn't hire me. It's unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? I was a personal trainer for. If you guys really give a shit, go on my LinkedIn. Look up Frank Tofano on LinkedIn, and you can see my job history. Yeah, look. Personal trainer, bartender, Greater New York City area. Head bartender, Peter Callahan Catering, present 4 years. Head bartender, Oscar Wilde, El Molino, New York. Nomo Soho, Del Frisco's. 30 French. Personal trainer, Scarsdale Pain Management. Trainer, Trump National Golf Club. Trainer, New York Sports Club. Trainer, Max Staffing. That's my resume. Personal trainer, bartender. 8 years, 9 years. Best source of K2 is pasture raised, not pasture duck liver, goose liver, or raw cheeses. Do you have the source of the different EMF thresholds that cause increasing biological harm? What do you mean 3 thresholds? I linked a bunch of resources in the comment on that video. Let me see if I can fish through my emails. Let me see if I can fish through my emails and find the chart for you guys. Just give me 1 second. For those of you who are unfamiliar with EMFs, electromagnetic frequency radiation, not electromagnetic frequency, electromagnetic fields are produced by various devices we have in our houses now, from our cell phones to landline phones, microwaves, all these things. So here's one thing that this guy sent me that seems to be good. Check that out. I think that should be all you need. But the EMF thing is I first encountered EMF. For those of you guys who didn't watch the EMF video today, I was sleeping next to my router. At one point in time, and I had insomnia, and that's how I discovered EMFs. But more recently, I've been doing a little more research into it, and I just wanted to make sure I wasn't exposing in my apartment because I never did testing in my apartment for EMFs. What's the best way to find grass-fed meat? Farmers market. I would check eatwild.com, localharvest.org. Local supermarkets sometimes have like Australian stuff. Honestly, you deserve to be making a ton of money for the value of information you provide. On one hand, I'm fucking, I'm killing myself making these videos, and I'm still going on bartending interviews, so there's that to it. And on the other hand, there's some information I just can't, like, I can't post food recipes anymore because I've had people steal them. I can't post specific information because I've had people steal it. So I'm not making money. I can't, like, I'm making, like, right now my YouTube is okay, like the hygiene products, the ad revenue, it's good, but it's not enough for me to not work. Primal Edge is starting a stream now too. Come on, who you guys gonna listen to for 3 hours? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Eggs have every nutrient except for vitamin C. I'm not sure if eggs are supposed to have vitamin C. Yeah, I talked about babies are in ketosis when in the Jillian Michaels video. Is 150 g of liver enough to get all B vitamins? Yeah. My body makes all the cholesterol it needs. Why would I need to consume more of it? So this is because exogenous cholesterol is required for vitamin D3 metabolism. The thing is, here's a good, to argue that your body needs cholesterol, there isn't a lot of evidence besides like D3 metabolism and calcium metabolism. But your liver needs to produce a certain amount of cholesterol every day if you don't get it from your diet. But if you do get it from your diet, excess cholesterol in the diet is not linked to higher levels of blood cholesterol. So my reasoning is, why not take the stress off of your liver and consume the cholesterol in the diet? Then your liver can do other things. To me, you're stressing your liver by not consuming cholesterol. To me, that's the main problem. And if you're on a vegan diet, a high sugar diet, not consuming cholesterol, and uh, we're going to see a lot of vegans with pancreatic cancer and liver cancer in the next few years. I think, maybe not next few years, but down the line, pancreatic cancer and liver cancer will be the disease of vegans if they don't get Crohn's first and get their intestines cut out, that is. Does my brother follow the same diet? No. Is he losing his hair? I think a little bit. And my father is bald, yes. Try Frank's ice cream recipe. Yeah, check out my raw pastured ice cream. I made it last year, but isn't it boring being on a carnivore diet? No. Your gut bacteria adapts to whatever your diet you're following, and you should write a book. I am trying to write a book right now. That's my next priority is get my book finished, hopefully before the end of February. I don't listen. This is not going to be like a Frankie's never-ending wisdom book. This is going to be if you had a consult with Frank, what would you get? So it's going to be like a consult in a book form. It's going to be, I don't know, 25, 30 bucks, somewhere around there. It's going to be a pretty short book, maybe cheaper, but it's not
Are
going to
there
be like an
any pros
encyclopedia.
cons when it comes to consuming foie gras?
Yeah, sure, I'll touch on that in a second, man. But no, my book is going to basically be how to optimize your health, what your D3 levels are supposed to be, what water you're supposed to drink, your diet, as well as exercise. It's going to establish what you need to do. It's not going to go into the nuances of, what are the best exercises to do? Is a dumbbell pullover better than a pec deck fly? No. It's not going to go over it's not going to compare like duck liver to veal liver to goose liver to lamb liver. It's going to say, okay, get the highest quality liver you can get. Uh, so I'm working on that now. Hopefully, I meant the mental clarity to finish that. Hopefully, I don't start this bartending job and then that impairs that. I think I should be focusing on my YouTube channel right now, not a shitty bartending job. But hey, I want to. I got a lot more girls when I was bartending, so I got to have some social life at least. I don't like if my success has always been pertinent on my me not having a social life though, unfortunately. So what are you gonna do? So VV14, thanks for the support today, man. I really do appreciate it. I know I don't sound like I do, but the reason I work so hard is because I understand the value of money and what it does for people. Are there any pros and cons when it comes to consuming foie gras? Uh, well, from a we'll talk about nutritional perspective. We don't have to talk about ethics. Uh, that's subjective, but yeah, it's very high omega-6. That's the main issue. It is a good source of nutrients. I had problems with insomnia, I think related to copper, because I ate so much of it. Like I don't want to say, I ate like maybe like 20 or 30 pounds of foie gras in a month. So definitely some heavy metal issues there. So try not to go crazy with it. But I mean, it is a good source of nutrients, even though it's high omega-6.
What are your thoughts on the 5G rollout? Has many watchdog groups wary. Cheers from Vegas Victory Hand.
Hey, Las Vegas Carnivore. I really, the thing is, if 5G is as bad as people are claiming, you can't, you can't put out 5G towers, blast everyone, and then have all these people have problems. They're gonna have to take them down. This might be something really big. Who knows? Like maybe they put these 5G towers up, people start complaining, they quietly go away. Who knows? I don't think they're going to push for it because if these 5G towers do cause EMF issues and I don't know I don't know what EMF these towers emit and how far they emit it for. So I can't speculate on this. I can't. I don't know how strong the 5G towers are. So I can't tell you. Um, it could be a big issue. If people start having if people start having sleep issues and they can't correlate it to the 5G being installed, but other people do, it's going to go around quickly. But who knows? They fucking kill people. They kill people's children in front of them in the hospital. Like your kid will have cancer, they'll kill them in front of you. Like they'll intubate people in fucking hospitals and kill people in front of you, and people still won't realize the medical profession and shit. So who knows? People are fucking brainwashed. They just appeal to authority. Oh, it's not 5G. There's something else wrong with you. It's psychological. I went to my doctor that I hadn't. What was it? I can't tell you how many times like I've had people like they've gone to what did I do? I just trying to remember. When I had insomnia with the router, I went to my doctor and he said it was all my fucking head and gave me some Ambien. And he thought it was just in my head. And then I moved the router out of my room and I was sleeping better. So, it goes to show you like people just say, "Oh, it's all in your head, it's psychological." I should be on what I've learned in a couple weeks. So hopefully that grows the channel. 5G isn't going to do anything just like 4G doesn't. Is part of depopulation agenda. Why do people think there's a depopulation agenda when the high amounts of people are living in third world countries? Is it because they want us to live like third world countries? They will blame the radiation sickness on an airborne disease to promote new vaccines. Shit, imagine that. You look better before your draw up. No, you can say it. You can say that all you fucking want. I look better before my draw operation. Really? You think my lower face looked better before my operation? Sunlight on your face through a window is still beneficial, or should you avoid it? I think like 90. No, it's there's nothing really gets through the glass. You know what was funny? I was going on an open call once. I don't know if any of you guys know LeBain at the Standard Highline, a nightclub in Meatpacking. So I'm going on this open call interview. I'm bullshitting with the hostess, but she's like standoffish. She's not that nice. And I made a joke. Oh, you get a little tan sitting in the because she's standing by the window and the sun's coming in. I said, oh, I made a joke. Oh, you get a little tan sitting in the sun all day, and she's like, actually, none of the UV gets through the window. And I didn't say a word, but I fucking knew at the time that I knew what exact percentage of UVA and UVB got through the window. So I could have put her in place. I could have been like, well, actually, 10% of the UVB actually gets through this glass. So technically speaking, you're getting about 9% UVA and 1% UVB. So, what do you think about that? Do you get any tan whatsoever? Like, get the suck my fucking dick. Nasty bitch. Holy shit. All right, I'll behave. I'll behave. Frank, why do you ignore me? I'm not ignoring you. I'm ignoring 90% of the people in chat right now. I don't have time to answer all this stuff. I mean, I did look manlier because my chin. I mean, listen, my chin was big. I didn't like it. I looked manlier because of my chin, but I don't. In regards to proportion, here's the thing. I could have gotten the surgery without the chin procedure, but then I would have probably had to pay for it if I wanted to get it done separately. But to me, my chin was so big and my forehead and my other features were so delicate, it didn't fit. I don't know if so. Like I know for sure. The thing is, if I had a wider jaw, I'd say yeah, fine, I'll keep my old chin. But I have this narrow jaw and then a long chin. My chin would have been like down to here, guys. You don't understand how bad it would have looked. My jaw wasn't. My jaw is the exact same. They didn't change my jaw at all. They just changed my chin. You guys understand that, right? Like none of this has changed. It's just the chin. So my jaw is the exact same as it was before. My opinion on exogenous ketones, there's no point. Just consume fat. Is hair thinning a nutrition problem or just genetics? That's technically both. Hey, EMF Minimalist, what's going on, man? Matt, thank you so much for everything, Matt. I tried to email you, but I'm guessing you're busy. I emailed you a couple times without a response. I sent your meters back with $500 worth of insurance. So hopefully they lose the meters and you get 500 bucks. The tracking numbers in my car. I gotta go get it. Can you comment on whether or not we need to eat veg phytonutrients to elongate telomeres? The most important thing for elongating telomeres is just vitamins. What's your testosterone right now? I'm gonna get some blood work. I want to check my testosterone because I started eating like 10 egg yolks a day and taking zinc and boron. But I have to. My sleep hasn't been good, so I want to fix my sleep first. What would you guys fucking say if my testosterone was like 1500? I swear, guys, I swear to God, if my testosterone's like 1500, I'm not telling you guys shit, and I'm gonna sell an ebook, how to triple your testosterone in 1 month. Like fuck that. Like I'm not. I'm dead serious, guys. I'm not giving that information away for free. You would look like a moon man. Frank, you touched on boron depletion in any of your mineral-related videos? No, I've been taking boron myself, and I did notice an increase in mental clarity, but I don't know if that's because of me taking antimicrobials too. I don't know. Are your eyes hereditarily dark? Yeah, I've always looked like this. What about no fap? Monkeys jerk off, dude. Even monkeys jerk off in the woods. Can I eat raw testicles without being gay? Depends on how big they are. Bloody stool on a carnivore diet. What could be solution or causes? I can't speculate that off of one sentence, man. If you guys are asking me if you guys are asking me questions and it's a two-part question and I can't find the first part, just put the whole question in one comment, please. Didn't you say that zinc supplements were bad? Yeah, but I think that my copper might be a bit high from. There's a possibility that my copper was too high from consuming a lot of foie gras, so I'm trying to figure that out right now. Lamb fat is not yellow because lambs do not store carotene in their fat like that, like the cows do. Hey Frank, I've recently discovered that diazepam eliminates nearly all my IBS-like symptoms. Have you heard of anyone using such meds for digestion issues? I haven't done a lot of research on that. Do you think it's possible to have 1500 testosterone? Yeah, I mean, there's steroids. How are my teeth so white? I just had them cleaned at the dentist. I gotta bleach them. I haven't bleached them in like 6 months. Borax is good for your best antifungal, cheap too. I bought some boron. I bought some boron supplements. I didn't buy borax. What are the benefits of eating the digestible organs of animals? Is it good for gut healing? Yeah, I mean, I think they have high amounts of vitamin C and vitamin E. Hey Frank, do you eat the same on a regular versus I don't work out that much anymore. I pretty much eat the same. Seaweed isn't natural. How would people back think it's seaweed? Seaweed isn't natural? Okay, so you think going in the ocean and picking some seaweed is harder to do than or any different than picking up a clam or like a mussel or like hunting an animal? That might be one of the silliest things I've heard all day. Binge eating disorder on carnivore diet, how to fix it. You can fast to reset your appetite, and you can reduce food palatability, like go raw or lightly cooked or unseasoned, or consume very satiating foods. If you have a binge eating disorder, go buy some unsalted fish roe and tell me how much of that you could binge eat. Not much. Hey man, I asked regarding bacala, surprisingly an Italian, Portuguese, and Jamaican dish. Third day soaking, salted cod. Yeah, it's too salty for me. Can we date? Only if you have a black Amex card. Red light therapy, I haven't looked too much into it. So when eating raw testicle size does matter. Yeah, I like the. That's why I only buy the small lamb ones. Is vegetable police a human guinea pig? Don't get me started on him, please. Do not. Don't get me started on fucking vegetable police. The guy needs to read. The guy needs to do some more reading on nutrition somewhere, somehow. I don't know. Best way to recover after a cheat meal that causes allergic reactions? Just really just eat your regular diet. Stay hydrated. How do you get zinc without eating expensive stuff? I mean, what do you mean? Zinc is in meat. Zinc is in muscle meat. Can I grow a beard? I can't grow any facial hair. Uh, when I was younger, the first time I ever shaved, I shaved the wrong way, and like my face never, like my facial hair grew in really weird and patchy. I don't even have like a mustache or any facial hair. So I just take a straight razor and I just go against the grain. It doesn't look like I have facial hair. Would you accept an invitation from Joe Rogan podcast? Of course. For those of you guys who aren't following me on Twitter, I started posting a lot more. Um, I'm trying to post a couple times a day now. But if you guys aren't following me, why aren't you guys following me? Because Joe Rogan does.
How does it affect my high
So why
meat
don't you
when I
guys
put it
follow me?
outside in the freezing cold? 'Cause I can't store it at my room, and when my mom finds out, she will think I'm crazy.
The problem is the jar might freeze and crack. Uh, and if the meat thaws out, I mean, it should be fine. That's what the Eskimos used to do. I would try to bury it, put it in the ground, and like bury it so it doesn't get too cold. Do I spend much time in nature? No, there is no fucking nature where I am. I commute to New York City every day, bartending. I mean, if you guys want to fund my like travel extravaganza like you do with that Sverige guy, by all means, start writing me some checks. But in the meantime, I'm working. Why do I dislike Adonis Planets? I don't necessarily dislike. I don't dislike Adonis Planets. I think Adonis Planets was right on some things, and he was wrong on some things, just like I've been throughout my life. The problem is people take Adonis Planet's word as gospel, and they regurgitate it without understanding anything behind what he's saying, and it's caused. I mean, Adonis Planet's primal diet is the reason I have sleeping issues now. I had a really bad allergic reaction to some raw dairy, and when I was trying raw primal and when I was consuming honey, I don't know what the mechanism was behind it, but ever since I tried raw primal back summer of last year, my stomach has been ruined. So by inherently listening to these people that spout Adonis Vonderplanet's gospel bullshit, I saw my health suffer. Please watch and critique Vegetable Police's latest Carnivore Diet eating. Did he actually show himself taking a bite of food? I haven't seen him eat anything yet. Does he actually eat the food or does he just show it?
Cool. They benefit from them, but then it would be like a pasta dish. It's pasta. Then you pour your coconut milk in there. It's chunky.
Wait a minute, he's drinking coconut milk. Someone just said he's a carnivore?
Got to stir it. Take that life. That meal knocked me out. Knocked my 8.
So now Vegetable Police really does seem like the type of person that would be indoctrinated into the Adonis Planet's cult. So go figure. I just don't like talking negatively about him because his followers are very loyal. Oxidized LDL causes atherosclerosis. Yeah, smoking is very bad for you. I started Candida video and I've been carnivore for like 5 months and I think I have Candida. I have horrible breath and I brush my. No, Candida isn't going to cause you bad breath. That might be. Most people don't have Candida. In my context, it's you don't have Candida. If you think you have Candida, you don't. Don't trust me. You'll know if you have Candida. What's the normal stool on carnivore color consistency? Just brown, dark brown. You've got to get a Discord server. How do you set up a Discord server? Do you guys know how to set up a Discord server? Frank Tofano, your servers will show up here. Add a new server. Add your bot to your server. I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't be doing this now. Add a bot to your server. I don't have a server yet. to make a server. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong website. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna make a Discord server. All right, make a server. Create server name. What's the server name gonna be, guys? All right, I think I'm gonna set it up right now. So I'm just gonna name it Frank Tefano. What should I name it? Frank Tefano. Okay, invite friends to Frank Tefano. Okay. So, can I change the name of the server or no? Oh, you can. Okay. What should it be called? Frankie Boy, Frankie TV. Yeah, we'll keep it Frank Tefano. That's fine.
Is this Frankie's Familia?
Oh, this is a bad fucking idea. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I'll have
I
to
won't talk.
I'll
I'll
have to
wait.
figure this out. I don't think they can I'm not sure if it's actually. Oh, it is. Okay. Hold on, let me mute my. Let me mute my. I'll mute my desktop right now. Okay. Okay. So we got. Oh, that's great. You guys are bugging me for Discord server like nobody's fucking business. Now that we got 2 people. Great. 2 people. Okay. Now we have to. Oh well. We got a Discord server. That's great. Should the link be permanent? Should the link be permanent?
There's no grass-fed beef. There's only grain-fed.
He's
Should I
still
bu-
talking. He's still talking the live.
I heard that. Grain-fed beef is fine if you don't have access to grass-fed beef in your country. Uh, Most of the time, it's still decent quality. The only issue is you still want to try to get high quality, like sources of fat and organ meats and other things to incorporate, like eggs preferably, or you have to supplement those nutrients you're missing. I could probably, should I like, I'll have to mess around on the Discord stuff, but I think if I was on Discord and I like drag people into my create channel private. Permissions. Permissions. Add role. How do you add a role? Permissions. Invites. So I don't know how to make roles and stuff. So we'll figure this out another day. We'll continue the live stream. I'll figure this out later. But you guys, if you guys want to go in that Discord chat and talk to each other, you can. I say put a permanent link on your YouTube banner. What do you mean by YouTube banner? Is there Did you guys never mind, I can't say that. You guys definitely think I'm gay. All right, I was listening to a song earlier that I really like. What what um what song do you guys think it was? Super gay. Like super gay. Wasn't and it wasn't Ram Ranch, guys. It was actually not like joking. That's jokingly gay. That's not actually. Why can't I customize this? Oh, okay. Edit links. About. Uh, da, 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 okay. Did anyone guess the song? No, no. I'll tell you guys if you guys guess the song right. I'll be honest. I'll tell you if you're right. How do you feel about Bar K rage quitting in a live debate against a vegan doctor? I didn't listen to it. Can you guys page me in on what happened with the Bar K versus vegan doctor debate? I was watching him talk to the vegans earlier, and he was getting pissed. What happened? What happened? When he rage quit? Why did he rage quit? Do you know anything about permaculture? Yeah, I'm big into that stuff. Joel Salatin, all that stuff. Yeah, the Discord is now on the Discord is now on the YouTube channel, so you guys can fucking play Ram Ranch all you want. There are no. I gotta figure that out later though with the moderators. Bart K got mad because he had no arguments against real. What do you mean by real science? What is the best milk, sheep, cow, or goat? I mean, they're all nutritious, but sheep milk has the highest fat content per calorie. They couldn't agree on what is evidence and what is not. That's always what a debate ends up being. If you're at a debate at the highest level, it always ends up being what is credible evidence. How do I feel about Butcher Box? I haven't tried the meat quality.
Bart K was unable to disprove studies of over 2 million people that were stuffing their face with high fructose corn syrup and grains.
Is that what it is? What's it like to have an Italian background with all the pasta and carbs they eat in the family? They don't eat that much anymore. My parents started having health problems. They had to stop eating all that shit. Yeah, he is a bit. Yeah, I mean, Bart is not. Bart does get a little too angry. It's just like he has
Frank,
really
how do
good.
you balance out omega-6 since I like chicken? Eek.
I mean, you have to just get high quality chicken, pasture chicken, man. Tanya, you need to get Try to source the highest quality soy-free chicken you can. That's all you could really do. Would you live on a farm if you had the money? If I had money, I'd have my own farm, but I wouldn't run it. I wouldn't live on it. I'd do my own thing. What is my perfect life? My perfect life is having a health facility in a nice state. Maybe I mean I perfect ideal scenario, health like a health naturopath center in Southern California. Uh, just a facility with food, with animals, with everything we needed to be healthy. That's what I would want. Opinions on healing IBS. I don't know what Mike's protocol is. No, epidemiology in the context of nutrition studies isn't really that credible according to the Bradford Hill criteria. Can drinking blood fix iron deficiency? You probably just want a bunch of liver too. How do you know if the raw milk is contaminated or not? You don't. You have to hope the farmer's clean. You made an omelet in a video recently. I thought you didn't eat eggs. Yeah, I've been messing around with some eggs recently. How much cholesterol is in ostrich eggs? I don't know. The chat is slowing down a bit. Did you guys want to do something else? You guys want to like watch some well, part of that's probably because Tristan started streaming. Did you guys want to watch some vegan videos? There's been a lot of fucking vegan shit going on. A lot of vegan shit has been going on the past week. Like a crazy amount, it seems like. There's so much vegan drama going on, it's insane. Ground meat, because if they put it through a grinder that was dirty, it's way more contaminated than whole meat would be. Isn't all our food technically tainted? Yeah, but it's what the lesser evil is. Our tanning bed's good for vitamin D. This is a video topic I have to do. The UVB to UVA ratio in the tanning bed can vary. There's more cholesterol in duck eggs than chicken. Yeah, that's why I use duck eggs. Yeah, I mean, pig's liver is going to taste bad because it's polluted. They're all in Discord now, lol. How many people are in Discord? I really have to make oh shit, there's 57 people in the Discord and I don't have any I gotta set something up. Shit. Let me oh wait, no, there's no one in here. Why did it say, oh, there's 57 members, but there's no one in here. Okay, that's fine. Oh, you guys are posting pictures already?
Unfortunately, they're going a little bit.
It's
off the
all going to shit.
Okay, this is why I didn't want Discord. They're already talking about Jews and Zionist shit. Okay, well, let's get back to the Q&A, guys. How can a vegan survive pregnancy? It's really amazing. I don't honestly, I can't believe. I'm sure these vegan pregnant mothers are cheating on shit. How did you say that word just then? Which word? Terra Nova. You tweeted me, so now I gotta tweet back and forth. Terra Nova. I'll probably just watch a YouTube video later and figure it out. I think that's what I'll do. Okay, I'll do that later. React to Bart K versus Ricky debate. It's a long debate though, isn't it? All these vegans who secretly want to be carnivore, yeah, right? How is grass-fed pork so toxic? Grass-fed isn't, but it's not grass-fed. Well, poor pigs are foragers. They don't eat grass, technically. You know, one element I wanted in my, like, hypothetical perfect healthcare facility is, like, it's going to be in a place that's sunny all year round. So it's going to have, like, it's like an open patio almost, but there's going to be, like, misters that will spray you with cold water when you're tanning. So you could tan when it's, like, 100 degrees outside and be fine. But I would want the facility would have to be in, like, Southern Cali where the UV index is high all year. Maybe not. Maybe at parts of the year we could have just tanning beds, and then in other times of the year. Because I don't think there's any country along the equator that I would actually want to have this facility in. Although along the equator would be ideal for, you know, UV index reasons. What's your preferred way into the raw lifestyle? Just searing your meat on the outside and keeping the middle raw. Sounds like what are you talking about? It's winter, so I can't get a lot of D3 from the sun yet. That's why I have to supplement or do a tanning bed. Bart K didn't get owned. They just were apparently, to my understanding, they were disagreeing on what constitutes, you know, studies. Yeah, so tanning beds have, like, anywhere from 1 to 5% UVB rays, and that's where you get your D3 from. So it depends on the UVB wattage of the bulbs. Texas is cheaper tax-wise than Cali. Not if you write off all your expenses or have some rich guy funding you. Texas would be cheaper than SoCal. But no one's going to come to Texas. I spoke about 5G earlier, Almedo. I don't know exactly what the pulses are, so. Hey Zozo, my name is Zoe. Okay. Cramping if you're hydrated. Cramping if you're hydrated could be magnesium or potassium, yeah. Greetings from Europe. Hey Sylvia, what's going on? Getting late over there, right? Like 10 o'clock. Bart K always seems mad, at least that's my perception. Ironically, California, raw dairy is legal. Frank, how to detox from toxic mold? Stop your fucking vegan diet. What's the nutritional value of prison food? Don't get me started on that stuff. That stuff's disgusting. Raw rabbit liver? That should be fine. Would you recommend supplementing raw oysters every 2 days for zinc? Yeah, oysters are great. Yeah, chicken liver can make you break out, whether it's vitamin A or copper for sure. How would you guys respond to vegetards who claim that animal meat can't provide the whole planet? What do you mean? Like, the people that want to eat meat, they can't. You going vegan or carnivore isn't going to change anything. That's a straw man argument. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. I don't know how vegans bring that shit up. Oh, well, meat can't feed the whole world. You know, there's people starving to death right now that don't have anything to eat, right? Right? It's been like 15 minutes and they're already plotting genocide on the Discord server. Yeah, I know. I don't know what to expect from these guys. It's funny, like, my viewers are like, I have to keep my viewers engaged on very interesting and knowledgeable topics. Otherwise, they start talking about, like Jewish propaganda. I don't know why. It's like whenever it gets a little more lackadaisical and the focus shifts, they start like, oh, what do you think about the Jews? I don't know why. Hey Frank, could you make a video about how the best way to check your ancestry ethnicity through DNA testing? Do you know much about finding out percentages? I mean, I had testing done. I'm 65% European, 35% North African. Any thoughts on Herbalife? Number one pyramid scheme, bar none. Calf liver better than beef liver? It's ideally you have whether you have milk-fed calf liver or grass-fed beef liver. The problem is sometimes they formula feed the calves and it tastes like shit.
Frankie, what would you recommend as a pre-workout meal while on zero-carb diet to boost the energy levels for the training? What's the optimal timing?
If indigenous diets were optimal, why didn't they live as long as people on American diets in the present day? Tribes they did. I mean, the problem is nature is not exactly kind. It's not. It's a very stressful and difficult life to live in indigenous groups. It's very stressful on the body. If people had to live now, if people had to, if you put an American in the woods, they'd probably die in a couple months. What are you talking about? You're like, oh well, if indigenous people didn't live as long as people now, why is their diet better? I'm like, okay, what would happen if you put an American in the woods right now? They would fucking die in months. What are you talking about? Like you can't even survive in the like you can't even you couldn't live in an indigenous setting. So why are you saying they didn't live as long as we do now when you couldn't do what they do? That doesn't make any sense to me. If you can't live like you would die in the forest essentially. Essentially you would. And you're saying that why didn't they live longer yet you couldn't survive at all? What kind of metric is that? Am I not making sense here? Is that not right? Cod liver oil gave me rashes, not allergic cow. Could be vitamin imbalance, could be oxidized fats. But thanks for the support, guys. Frank, what would you recommend as a pre-workout meal while on zero carb to boost energy levels for training? I would just have a moderately sized meal of meat an hour or two before you work out. That's what I have found to be good for my energy levels. Just protein, steak, fat is fine. Don't overeat. That's what I do pre-workout. Where's the best place to find meat-based pasta? I don't know if that exists. Hormetic stress from plant foods? I don't see the point. There's plenty of hormetic stress in your environment. You don't need to consume plant foods to get hormetic stress. You have EMFs, you have pollution, you have all these things. Do I eat sweetbreads? I've had them before. I mean, you guys do know, like, the Native Americans were hypothetically on perfect diets and they all died from smallpox. So just being in perfect health from an indigenous perspective doesn't make you immune to modern diseases. Thoughts on truffles? I mean, they're expensive. They have a pretty unique taste. What do I think? What do you think about Furious Pete's recurring testicular cancer? I mean, there's definitely something to be said about diet and lifestyle. Hey, Frankie, new viewer here. I found my body to be very cold. Consuming fat and high-fat foods and high-nutrient foods can definitely warm you up. I notice that when I fast, I get much colder than I normally am. How's it like being carnivore in an Italian family? Thanks for the support, Sylvia. Well, I helped my sister lose weight, and she's on my diet now. My mother stopped eating carbs to some degree, and my dad had to because he was getting so sick from eating pasta every day. It used to be like, I don't eat like at all, so I don't usually eat with my family, so it doesn't really matter. Because I don't live with my family, so I don't really have to eat with them, if that answers your question. But before, when I was on carnivore, they always thought I was weird, and before my sister lost the weight, they thought I was nuts. You actually will live longer if you follow their diet, because an indigenous diet, can you actually explain why a standard American diet would be better than an indigenous diet? An indigenous diet is more nutrient dense and less inflammatory in every single perspective, so why would you, like when people try to argue, oh well, the indigenous people died when they were 60, like look on paper at what they ate and compare it to what the shit you're eating now. Like, you can't argue that your diet's better than what they eat. Blood sausage. It depends on the quality of the meat going into the sausage. What cheese snack is the best? Depends on what you want to cheat with. For me, cheating could be putting aged balsamic vinegar on my steak. It could be raw cream. Nutritional value of wild crab. It's very good, especially if you eat the fat. Critique a paleo day of eating. There's not a lot of them on YouTube, man. But paleo day of eating, these people tend not to actually be paleo. I spoke about mushrooms earlier, man. I'm not answering it again. I prefer the cooked. I prefer to poach the egg yolk a little bit. I don't really like it raw that much. I used to eat more raw eggs. Ba, ba, ba. Hi Frank, where's the woman you interviewed recently? She mentioned she couldn't buy unpasteurized. She's in Bulgaria. Yeah, she has some awesome food access. Yeah, paleo is plant-based. Steven, I just looked that up and I mean, there's probably a lot of other factors that contribute to that people get out more and stuff and more physically active. Does raw honey affect type 2 diabetics? Yeah, it's still stress, it's still insulin, it's still sugar. How many meals do I have per day? Usually just one. Is pastured duck breast a good source of nutrition? Of course. Depends on how high quality it is, though. Like, is it pastured? Is it 90% grain? Is it fed 80% grain? You know, what percentage of grain is it being fed? So the thing I see with carnivore is too much protein. I'm trying to get fitter and have less mass. What do you think? Fitter and less mass, you just have to reduce your training. Why do fat people live longer? That's a very general statement. People might be living longer, but their quality of life is drastically reduced. Are there any other veggies that haven't been influenced? Yeah, seaweed is pretty good. Honey only has 10% sugar raw anyway. That's not true. I don't know what the fuck you're smoking. Sugar ratio, honey. It's like, how much fructose? I don't know the fructose to glucose ratio in honey, but it's pure sugar. Have you tried Dutch Meadows raw dairy? No. Raw honey and milk don't spike your insulin as much as bread and potatoes. That's true. To some degree. I did have a carnivore diet food pyramid website. I had a website, Carnivore Wiki. It didn't really pick up, so whatever. I did have a food pyramid on it, but people didn't seem to care, so I got rid of it. Ever do any hair treatments? No. This was the Carnivore Wiki. Yeah, the honey is a von der Plannis thing. It's not. It's complete bullshit. I think only truly raw honey will convert into enzymes. Dude, you guys are fucking morons. Sorry for the language, but you guys have to stop spouting the Adonis von der Plannis bullshit, please. Just Google fructose to glucose ratio in honey, okay? And you have your answer. This is not like, oh, truly raw honey turns into enzymes in the body. Like, guys, please stop the bullshit. Like, you're giving people fucking shithead advice. Jesus, your vegan friend is giving her kid celery juice. What a nightmare. What do you think about East Asian diets? They seem pretty healthy, but they have high carb. They have very high levels of diabetes because they can't store visceral fat. How much dietary fat do you need to make hormones happy? I mean, the more the better. Probably 20-30% minimum. What's more toxic, the germs from your hands without being washed or the chemical antibiotics? Why not just rinse your hands with water if you don't want to use soap? Main cause of brain fog? Could be histamine, probably histamines for most people. No, Frank, it takes about 18 months for a website to get a good amount of traffic. Check out Doug Huntington. It's not that I'm giving up on the site, it's that there's no money in the site. We're going to do a private wiki that people are going to have to pay for. Hey, dude, go ahead. Go eat 100 grams of raw honey, and when you have fatty liver disease in 2 years, come back and say I told you so. Raw honey, antibacterial, antifungal is not in the context of the gut microbiome. Do not consume raw honey if you have a fungal overgrowth. It's going to make it much worse. Thanks, Frank. I was listening to these people are asking stupid questions or simple questions that can be answered by Google. Not just that, they're just making shit up. That's what you're doing. You're just repeating something someone else told you that's without understanding it. I'm carnivore but curious. I see many people following different kind of diets. If you guys want to, if you guys want to ask some more questions, otherwise, if the chat stays a little slow, I might go in a few minutes. My workout, I try to do just cardio. Jonas has done research for over 40 years, Frank. He was right about most things. Oh, yeah. That's why he died in the hospital trying to eat honey and raw butter. When he bled to death internally. Right on. Yeah, he's really right. You guys are ridiculous. I'm not talking about the Jonas Bonner Planet stuff anymore. If your IQ is not above like 105, I can't have a conversation with you. I don't mean to be a dick, but you guys don't understand. You have one person. It's one guy. Why are you worshiping this Jonas Bonner Planet guy? You could be worshiping any other dietary person. It could be anyone else. You could be fucking vegan if you wanted to, but you're just worshiping him for some reason. I don't eat honey, no. Beef that turns gray on the outside is fine as long as it's only a little oxidized. I don't know why you guys keep bringing this stuff up. Do I have a dark side? I feel as if you do. I could answer that. What I'm implying is that if your IQ is low enough to be influenced by someone to so much you believe every single thing they say is gospel, I can't have a conversation with you. I wonder how much Dr. Sean Baker makes through ButcherBox and other affiliates. Enough to post about it every day on his Instagram. I don't care what my IQ is. I like. There's no point in me telling you. I'm not a bit salty. It's just like every time people bring up stupid stuff, I have to put people in their place to some degree. Raw meat. Saying raw meat can't go bad isn't necessarily correct either. Vegetable Police is just gonna spout a Jonas Vonderplanet's bullshit for his next videos, I'm assuming, because that's what he's getting into now. Is glycation a concern for vegans? Yes. How would I get rid of a fungal overgrowth? High antimicrobial. Fix the underlying issue. Do I have veneers? No. If your vegan friend snuck me during her pregnancy and asked you to keep it quiet, I'm not surprised. I will get fatty liver disease from raw honey. If you eat enough of it, you could. You're overloading your liver with glucose and fructose. Not glucose. You're overloading your liver with fructose, and your digestive system can only process so much sucrose at once. Insulin resistance. How come a natural vegan never showed her baby? I don't know. What do I think of MCT oil? I think it's, I don't think it's good. No nutrients. Honey, guys, you guys don't understand. Honey is not antimicrobial in the context of the digestive system. Increased bioavailability of omega-3 and krill oil. What is it in the phospholipid form instead of the other form? Having too much sourdough bread bad? It depends on how tolerant you are to it. Does frozen liver still have good nutrition value? Yes. Has any girl ever tried to slide into your DMs? Yes. I can't fucking respond. Guys, I can't respond to shit on. With how popular I am on YouTube now, I can't respond to stuff anymore on my social media pages. Hey Xerox, I'm glad things are going well. Definitely send me a little email if you want to write up a testimonial. Raw honey. You guys don't like put raw honey on bacteria in a petri dish and see what happens. I don't drink beer now. Makes my stomach go crazy. Asked you about 10 minutes a while back. Where do you stand on sunscreen? No point. Humans are naturally supposed to adjust to the sun over the course of the year, so you're supposed to pretty much be outside every day from spring to summer, so your skin will tan naturally. Stop saying you guys when one person says something. I can say whatever I want. There's multiple people. There's multiple people saying these things in the chat for the most part. I haven't seen it just once. The Eskimos used to freeze meat, so I have not seen any actual physical scientific evidence that freezing meat is too detrimental, outside of a slight oxidation concern if it's stored improperly. At least that's my understanding of it. Thoughts on eating the whole honeycomb? That's ideal if you can get it. The carnivore diet based entirely on the overconsumption of preformed vitamins, but at what point does your body get too much? To my understanding, the only concern is not getting enough D3 from the sun to balance the other fat-soluble vitamins, that the fat you're consuming isn't high enough K2. The main concern about a carnivore diet is that most people aren't consuming foods that are high quality enough to get the animal vitamins they need. People think the only thing that people might get too much of is like they might get too much vitamin A from liver because they're not consuming high quality animal fats and high quality, you're not getting D3 from the sun. The other issue is copper toxicity, possibly from consuming too much liver, but I gotta do some more research on that. Opinion on keto. I don't really have one. I think it works for some people, but some people use it as an excuse to make weird junk foods. Do I meditate? Do I sound like I meditate? Oxidation at -40 degrees C. Yeah, I mean there is, but it's very slow. It's slow, very slow oxidation. It's from if the cryovac is really good, then there's going to be none. Most of the oxidation occurs in when the meat's freezing and when it's thawing out, not actually when it's frozen. How do you know if liver's high quality? Mostly the taste. You think Sverige knows more about me than diet? If you listen, if you said to my face that vegan, I'm sorry, if you said to my face that Sverige knows more than me about anything, I would literally hit you on the head and cut your head open to make sure there's a brain in there. That's what I would do. You can't be fucking serious. Don't insult me like that. Like, listen, I was just a little salty this whole stream, but you saying that shit really, you need a dose of reality, my man. Frank, can you talk about the order of satiety? You guys got to write a check for that one. Let's change the topic, guys. Change the topic, please, before I get aggravated. Frankie, will you do a makeup tutorial? I want to, but I gotta figure it out. I just don't feel like doing it. I gotta Google like a makeup I gotta watch like a makeup tutorial video on YouTube and figure out how to do it so I can do a parody. The problem is I have no like artistic talent. Like I would have a very difficult time. Like if I wanted to film a joke video of me putting on makeup, I'd probably look like a 2-year-old girl who's never done her makeup before. It looked terrible. So I don't know how to Dude, Raw Bacon is always in my fucking live stream making fun of my height. Okay. Raw Bacon, you're saying manlet talking tough, LOL. What are you going to say when there's 10 manlets in front of you with baseball bats? What are you going to say then? You're going to say, oh, manlet's talking tough? Sverige got angry subscribers in Arizona didn't let him stay in for free in their house and trash them on YouTube. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Grass-fed fat not being melted, low heat. I would just sear it on the outside and eat it. It's not going to melt at a low heat sometimes. Would you eat crab raw or cooked? You have to poach crab to get the meat out. So it would be lightly poached. It would still be mostly raw if you wanted it to be. But I would eat crab cooked. It's fine. Does the sun actually age your skin? Technically, it can. Frankie BOY, Accutane stays in the body for many years. Do you think you still have retinol in your system? And if so, how does it have any dangers? That's what I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see what happens if I up my zinc and my K2 intake to counterbalance retinol. See if things change. Watch Emily Noel 83. I just know that the problem is I want to do like a joke makeup tutorial video, but I can't actually record myself doing it because if I said okay do this and I fucking draw a line like that, like you know, it's not gonna look good. You know what I could do is I can probably pay a girl to do my makeup, but then it would just be a girl doing my makeup. You guys would see what I'd look like with actually having makeup on. Don't do that slope shit like makeup tutorials. Like, listen, I could do like I could do acting related stuff, but fucking makeup and having to learn skills, I don't know about that. You challenge me to a fight? Okay. I'll meet you next Thursday. It's going to be 18 degrees, low of 0 degrees. I'll meet you outside on the seaport, about a mile into the East River. We'll meet there for the fight. How about that? Frank, I would force feed you Accutane until you got a tummy ache, little boy. Is raw fat the most important nutrient in today's world? Yeah, if it's high quality. Why some grass-fed butter is very yellow and some others white? Because of the quality that the grass the cows are on. I bought the Liquid D3 in your store. Should I take it sublingual? I like using it on my skin transdermally. Frank, from your previous bodybuilding fitness and experiences, anabolic window real? No. This is a very simple explanation. If you eat a food, how long does it take to get through your small intestine? 8, 9, 10 hours? That's your metabolic window. If you have a meal every 8, 9, or 10 hours, your body is getting nutrients. There's no hour window after a workout. Any way to balance K2 and zinc without supplements? You can, but it just takes longer. So you could just eat a lot more meat and eat a lot of K2, like egg yolks, but it would just take longer than supplementing, especially for the zinc. Hey, to whom it may concern, thanks for joining the chat. What's the best thing to eat to get rid of these stupid chicken liver pimples? If the reason that your acne is from high omega-6, then just drink a lot of water and consume low omega-6 meats. Do sucking toes have nutrition value? Frankie, can you please share your opinions on keto? I did already. Do we need 4 times potassium for each sodium? That's a tough topic because potassium isn't it's not absorbed as quickly or as easily as sodium is. What do you think about Les Leo Venus study where he said you were cherry picking studies and doesn't focus on the meta studies? I use meta studies. I use whatever studies I need to use to show the research. I don't give it like. Why does he care if I don't use meta studies if he doesn't use any studies at all? Like, does it matter? Like, why you? That's like critiquing. That's like critiquing what hairstyle I have when you're bald. Like, what are you talking about, dude? You don't have any fucking hair. Why are you making fun of my hair? I'd pay good money to see this manlet attempt to throw. How much water on carnivore? What you want to do is you want to hydrate to thirst. When you want to hydrate when you wake up with a cup or 2 of water, then hydrate to thirst throughout the day. Frank Varg Vickerners called you a new age hippie for being carnivore. Is that the same guy that said he didn't want to talk to me because I looked like a Jew? It's not too bright. What do you think Freely would do if she found her breast implants were made of beef gelatin? I don't know. Are you a loner or a social guy? I'm a social guy, but I don't. Unfortunately, right now, I just don't have the opportunity to go out a lot. I spend a lot of time on my YouTube channel. I spend the rest of my time going on. Right now, I'm bartending. I am apply to acting stuff. I just don't have time. I work with my sister. I just don't have time to do anything. Like sometimes I like when I was bartending before I was helping my sister, I would go out sometimes, but I just don't have time to go out, and I'm just focusing on making money and the success of my YouTube channel. Um, so it's not that I don't want to like have more of a social life. It's just I can't really, unfortunately. Uncured no sugar bacon is still high in omega 6. Go on Discord? Why do I need to go on Discord? What age did I stop growing? I was probably 18 or something. What do you mean teeth check? One gold rule to thrive? That's a very general question. I really don't feel like answering that right now. How much sleep you get a night? Hasn't been too well lately. A couple hours. I've been standing in front of fucking lights, like filming videos. Best way to cook beef chuck short ribs? I just throw them on the grill, sear them on the outside, and then eat the inside raw. When you think about butter, if people have lactose and histamine intolerance, you probably should avoid it. Don't look at Discord, yikes. The fuck you guys, what are you guys doing on my fucking Discord? What's going on? Would you give uncured sugar-free bacon to a child? I don't see the reason to. Are you a chef? I saw you on the news cooking a steak. I wouldn't call myself a chef, but I'm a better cook than most people are. Frankie, hard to feel satiated from fat meat alone and feel nauseous after meals. Any advice? I would reduce the cooking temperature. I would increase the food quality. See if that's an issue. Regardless, eating food that is supplemented with is cheese fattening? It could create artificial palatability, which could cause people to gain weight. Wait, they can what's the issue? I could get banned. My Discord server can get banned if they post weird stuff. Throw Primal Edge and Barkay and I'm watching. What? Seeing you all fight over the last crap heart? What are you talking about? Did I have many friends growing up? No. I don't know, guys. I don't know how to I don't know how to do this shit on Discord yet, and you guys can't post stuff like that. I don't know how to get rid of it. I just don't. I don't have time to go in and remove everything. Chicken liver has less copper. Perhaps it is better. No, I mean that's about a matter of getting zinc and making sure your liver can eliminate copper. Frank, is your sister in training program to become socially independent? Why am I asking this? Is because I had a special needs brother. My husband has a sister who's the same. She's 7. My sister is never going to be socially independent, unfortunately. The Carney channels are diverse, from Baker to Sparrows to Bart to Frank. Take your pick. Guys, we're gonna wrap this up in a few minutes. I think we'll call it at 3 hours. Actually, that's a good. We'll call it at 3 hours. I don't want to show you guys shit, but if you guys want to check out my Patreon, if you guys want to check out the Amazon shop, the website, it's all some interesting stuff. Some testimonials on the website you can read, some hygiene products. Patreon, I do have some exclusive videos on there, and Amazon shop is just products that I use every day. Carnivore mayonnaise, it's good. Like egg yolk and clarified butter, that's great. I mean, it's not mayonnaise because it's fucking butter. It's hollandaise. If you make a carnivore mayo with like egg yolk, butter, Dijon mustard, lemon juice, white wine vinegar, like it's technically not carnivore then. You can make a hollandaise that'll taste good. Master of Pseudoscience Barkay already has more Patreons than you. You do something wrong. Is that because he begs people to join his Patreon saying he can't pay his fucking rent? Because if it was up to me, I would rather go down to the city, work a 12-hour shift, make $200, as opposed to beg people for money. What I say is, hey, if you guys want to support me, I have some exclusive videos on Patreon. I make it very clear that I don't need the money, but that it helps. I don't go and say, I don't do shit like Sverige and Bart K and be like, oh, I can't pay my rent. Help me pay my rent. I don't need the pity party. I don't do that shit. Hey, Mark. Yeah, you can be my translator if I come to Sweden. I watch all the girls make fun of the short Italian guy. Frank, any plan to do cooking videos? I think a few of us would be interested. Unfortunately, most of my cooking recipes get stolen, so I can't share certain things. If you could suggest things you'd like to see me cook, yeah. Besides steak, that is. Favorite way to cook meat? Wood fire, that's it. Wood fire, sear the outside, that's it. That's because I have self-respect. I'm starting to lose it, though, to some degree. He hates his job in the apple juice factory. What kind of exercise do I used to do? Cardio. Who cares if they are stolen? What if what's stolen? Oh, who cares if people steal the recipes? No, because I might open up if I open up a pizza place in the future, I want to use my pizza recipe. Would you ever put out a recipe book? Yeah, after I write this initial book, I don't know what the title is going to be. Maybe something like Perfected Health, Achieving Ancestral Health through blah blah blah. I don't know what. As soon as I do my first book, which is going to be like a consultation with me, the second book I'm going to focus on is going to be uh, it's going to be recipes, carnivore cooking guide. Uh, Sparrows is not monetized. I've never heard him ask for money. He asked for, what do you mean? He asked for money in like half of his, in like every video every month. And always complains about the money. Uh, will eating cheap steaks from the supermarket cause any problems? There's definitely an antibiotic concern. Would you ever change your channel name to Carnivore Gains? Initially, maybe I would have benefited from having my channel be called like Carnivore Diet or something, but now I don't know. How's your book not gonna have nutrient density in the title? Because I want it to be approachable. I could put nutrient density in the title. I could put like achieving health. It could be like achieving health through nutrient density. I don't know if you guys have any good book title ideas. Let me know. I seem tired. Honestly, like the first half of the stream was really fun, really exciting, and really engaging. And then everything seemed to go to shit to some degree. Safarage is just. Would you consider unbanning the shit posters from the server if clear rules are established? Can't they just make new? I can go unban them. I don't really care. I just gotta figure out how to work the interface. The way I see it, y'all, is if you can get on here and ask questions, then you can donate a few bucks time and answer them free. I mean, I said this earlier. I'm still working a full-time job, so like for me to work like 70 hours a week and still do the YouTube channel, it's really stressful on me to get these videos out and keep the content high and to educate you guys, and then to not get much out of it is, or at least still have to do other things. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty. I think a couple years from now, whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna look back and say, why the fuck did I even bother bartending? Did you see Vegan Gains video on BartK? No, I haven't. Do you have any favorite YouTubers? Not really. There are a lot of great YouTubers that I not ones I watch particularly. Savage made a video asking for money when he broke up with his rich ex-girlfriend. Yeah, I saw that. I think I commented on that video asking for his girlfriend's number, but I didn't get a response. How bad is peanut butter? Very inflammatory. High omega-6, oxidized. What music do I like? I listen to hip hop, R&B, usually. What lane did you main in League of Legends? Don't say support. When I was really good at League of Legends, and I mean this was before the new ranking system, back when you had numbered elo, where it was just like, oh, you're 1400, you're 1700, you're 1900. Back when that system was out, I played every role really well. I've always been a jungle main though for the most part. I wish I could bring up my KDA. It was insanely good one season. I only got to like diamond, but my KDA at diamond was like 6 kills, less than 2 deaths, and like 10 assists. My biggest thing was keeping my deaths low. So I main jungle, but I played any role. I found that I had the most influence on the game as a jungler. I was actually playing jungle Gragas back before. Like I played a lot of junglers when they were like secretly OP, and then I stopped playing and I fell off and I was no longer good at the game. But there was a point where I was good at League of Legends. There was a point where I might have been able to actually get on a professional team if I pushed for it, but I didn't. I was playing League of Legends like 12 hours a day back in 2013, but that's long gone. Svever's channel is not monetized. He's not getting any money from it. Maybe he should kind of change his, the direction that he takes his videos so he gets monetized. What's my favorite jungler? When I was jungling, Vi and Gragas were very, very strong. Before that, it was Jarvan pre-nerf. I played. The funnest jungler to play was. I played Rumble. No, that was Rumble mid. I had a lot of fun on Rumble mid when he was overpowered. I would go like literally 10 kills, 0 deaths, 10 assists every game. Literally Rumble mid was like OP. It's like you hit level 3 and you click flamethrower and they died. But in regards to the jungler that I liked playing the most, I played AP Jax when he was like secretly OP. Like you played if you like rushed a death cap on AP Jax like a year and a half ago, you two-shot people. I played RuneScape when I was younger, but I wasn't like old enough to understand how to play the game. You need to be challenger / master to get recruited though. I played before this. I played before that ranking system. I played League of Legends like in 2013. I played before the challenger master system came out. I'm gonna stop talking about League of Legends now. You guys have other questions? Great to see your subscriber count increasing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I just got some really dark orange egg yolks from Vital Farm. Yeah, sometimes they're really dark. Leo Venus made a video about you. Probably not. It's just ad hominem attacks. Without linking research, it's not worth my time. Have you seen the latest video from what I've learned about supplements? Shared a lot of the same info you have put there with vitamin A and nutritional relationships to each other. I have an interview with what I've learned. I should be on the channel soon. I should be on. That should be my biggest publicity yet of what I've learned. You better use a good fucking thumbnail. Thoughts on beating sugar addiction? Hydration and consume plenty of fat. Does your dad ever get off bread? It's like a vicious cycle. Like he'll stop eating it, he'll feel better in a couple days, and then he'll eat it again. A vicious cycle. Collab with what I've learned. Yep, I had an interview with him. Say you got a girl pregnant and she was a vegan. I wouldn't get a vegan girl pregnant. Okay, let's be honest. If I got a vegan girl pregnant, it's because she was some hot as fuck Eastern European model. Then I wouldn't really care. And she'd probably just abort the baby. That's my guess. What would happen? If I eat like you, your dad will have perfect skin like you. If you get some sun. What do you think of consuming only resistant starches? I've tried it and it's not good if you have intestinal problems. Do you drink reverse osmosis? Yeah, just reverse osmosis water. Yeah, I did collaborate with what I've learned. Hopefully he posts the interview soon. She wouldn't be hot if she was vegan. Maybe she was only like vegan for a week or some shit. I don't know. If you guys don't have any more questions, I know I said I was going to wrap it up at 3 hours, but I got a little boost of energy. I don't know why I get spam with so many emails when I'm on my live stream that I have to spend like hours afterwards. What did the What I've Learned guy look like? Just an average brunette white dude, like young guy. What's my job? I work as a bartender and well, I used to work as a personal trainer. Now I work as a bartender. Is distill better? Technically, it's slightly lower parts per million. Do I drink alcohol? No. I mean, I work as a bartender, so sometimes I have to taste drinks, but I haven't been working lately. That's a good point. If she was vegan, she couldn't get pregnant, right? Any good sites that reference the percent bioavailability of nutrients? No, there's nothing really. That'd be something I'd be interested in working on. How much carbs do you have to eat to be in ketosis to break ketosis? If you're really keto and carnivore adapted, you won't really break ketosis unless you eat a very high amount of carbs for a long period of time. Is your brother smarter than you? You took different paths. I would say I have more common sense logic. My brother got a master's in physics, so from an academic standpoint, he certainly did better. He's not too bright though, to be honest. Is it okay to do a vitamin C flush while pregnant? I mean, what's your issue? Why are you doing a vitamin C flush? You ever go to farm? I used to go to live kill markets to buy some live meat. Is there any good alternative to ketchup? I mean, you can make your own ketchup. You can try coconut aminos. How do you properly prepare potatoes? You could just really just boil them. I mean, throw them in a fire. That's it. Is K2 necessary when supplementing high doses of D to prevent arterial gasification? Yes. I did not know it takes a lot of carbs to break ketosis, but I suppose oh, you guys are ridiculous. Why would you ask a guy for advice on pregnancy diets? Because I probably have more knowledge of nutrient density than really anyone you're going to speak to. Did I read the CDC pages on raw milk? Yes, I have. Did you read the USDA guidelines as to how many servings of bread you should eat a day? Scolio, it depends on the UV index. A little more than that would be good. Desiree just came back from Tristan's stream. I can't decide. Well, I'm about to go in a few minutes, so you won't have to decide. Yeah, I have blood sources. It's just the high omega-6 is a concern. Hormesis is true to some degree, but not what people think it is. You don't have to induce hormesis yourself. There's plenty of factors that do it. Yeah, but you're not going to have any experience with female hormones and how different nutrients affects them. So having some guy stick his dick in you gives you those qualifications? I don't understand what you're saying. You increase the nutrient density of the diet to what you deem adequate to properly raise a child. That's what you do. Anything past that is extra. Like this is not a debate about what's ideal for human pregnancy. It's very simple. You want to get certain amounts of nutrients in the diet. You want, oh Matt, do you eat all your daily calories in one sitting? Yeah. Most of the time it is eating less, though. Which meats are low in omega-6? Well, what's high in omega-6 is grain-fed stuff. Pork, chicken. What do you think of algae like chlorella and spirulina? I don't see the point. Insects are healthy. Some primitive groups are a lot of insects. Yep. Butter more heat resistant than olive oil. The milk solids in the butter can burn, so you want to be careful. Is estrogen in animal foods an issue? Yeah, but there's so many other things to worry about. Did you have any IRL arguments with vegan friends? I don't have any vegan friends. I told you guys last live stream, my vegan boss fired me in my last job. I'm not joking. My vegan boss found out about my YouTube channel and started cutting my shifts. Fucking dirtbag. I should have beat him to death with a baguette. Is Weston A. Price a good foundation for eating? It's okay. It's not bad, that's for sure. It definitely starts in nutrient density. Is that just such a thing as hypervitaminosis? Yeah, but it's usually not usually. It's only really attained from supplements, plant-based supplements. I'm saying you have experience with testosterone levels and how your diet may affect it. However, you'll never have experience with pregnancy hormones. I could read just as much literature on it and understand it more than anyone else. And everyone is different, so how can you say that you have experience with pregnancy hormones when someone else might have a completely different metabolism than you? Mark, I would use a standing desk and just try to block blue light. Does pasteurized fish oil still contain nutrients? It's okay, but definitely not ideal. We were always warned about hypervitaminosis A in medical school. It can really only be obtained. I did a whole video on that, dude. Check out my polar bear video on hypervitaminosis A. Can you get vitamin D from the sun through a window? I answered this earlier. You get about 10% of the UV, so not really. Any thoughts or benefits from the seed plant compounds, sulforaphane and glandin? Are those just toxins? I really don't see it from a practical standpoint. Like, these foods would not have been present in our diets in unrealistic amounts. Give us your ex-chef's name. We should boycott him. That restaurant's failing anyway. They're not doing well. They got what was coming to them. Vitamin D3 content in cream, butter, and brain depends on if the animal is on summer pasture. You said before you have low testosterone. Well, my testosterone's gone up recently because of some things I've done. Oh, this chat is going off track. So, guys, if you have any more questions, I'll let this go until, we'll go for like 3 more minutes. We'll call it at 3 hours and 15 minutes. I think that's fine. I got a couple of things to do today. I'm going to make the rest of my products. I got to make my moisturizing cream, and then, after I make my moisturizing cream, all I have to do is make the tooth powder and the, a few lip balm containers, and then the hair pomade. How do you know you have low testosterone? You get a blood test. Blood tested. Does supplementing iodine really make a difference, or do you need it from food? Yeah, it could help. Potassium iodide supplement. What things did you do to increase your testosterone? That I cannot tell you until I get another blood test to confirm it worked. Tips for healthy menstrual cycles for women. You want to get to your goal body weight, because when you lose weight, your menstrual cycle will vary drastically. So what you do is you want to increase your lean body mass, get to your goal weight, and then maintain it with a consistent caloric intake to regulate your menstrual cycle. What's going in the moisturizing cream? Let me look at my recipe real quick. It's just beef tallow, shea butter, and then I'm going to put in some vitamin D3. That's it. What else did I? Yeah, that's it. That's it, just that. No scent. You don't need to actually take a D3 supplement if you get my moisturizing cream. I don't know if I'm going to try the soap at all. I don't know if I was going to make soap for the package. I got to decide if I want to. Pregnant lady constipated over here. Would a vitamin C flush be okay if you want to stay by the toilet for the next 24 hours? Thanks for the stream. Hey, no, thank you guys for sticking with me. Sorry about earlier. I don't know what to do. I mean, I know a lot of people waited fucking half an hour for me, but just made a mistake. What are you gonna do? If you're in Scandinavia, just supplement vitamin D3 and go to tanning beds. Topical D3, cold custard. Well, yeah, it works. That's what I do. Does exercise reduce your ketone level? Technically, yes. How much D3 is absorbed through the skin? Pretty much all of it. White wave, check your copper plus ceruloplasmin. But no, thank you guys for watching me. It's been a long live stream. Do I have side effects from Accutane? Yeah. Does freezing meat destroy nutrients? No, it doesn't. But again, thank you guys for watching. If you guys do want to check out my Amazon shop, my Patreon, you might find a couple things you'd like to see. And by no means, guys, like if you want to check out my hygiene products, that's great. Let me know if just by being here, you're just being a great support. If you guys like on my Patreon, there's some free videos too you can watch if you want. Like on my Amazon shop, you can go on there just to get an idea of what I buy, and you can see if that stuff's in your local supermarket. What else did I link you guys? That's pretty much it. But no, if you guys have any more questions, just leave them on the comments in the video. I don't know, maybe I'll do another live stream this week. We'll do some vegan critiques if I feel like it, and then or maybe we'll just do vegan critiques next Saturday, or maybe we'll do I really want to start a podcast on Saturdays, but I don't know what guests I would have on. Plus, I like doing the talking, so who knows? Where did I study college? I went to Hunter College for a little bit. But that's it, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. If you guys want to reach out to me for consultations in regards to increasing the nutrient density of your diet, removing inflammation, just so you guys know, the way I do consultations is you send me an email, I send you an evaluation of what I would do, give you some tips, and if you want to buy a consult and do something in depth, we could do that. Otherwise, you just get a few quick tips on how to fix your diet and lifestyle. How to gauge ideal body weight, I'll answer that. Put that. Maybe ask that next week, man, or like put a Streamlabs donation next stream because that's not a quick answer. But again, thank you guys so much. As I said earlier, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay warm if you're in the Northeast, and